get tonight's episode going. You heard it from the TUDN signal. Tigres have just secured their ticket to the Champions Cup final, defeating Nashville convincingly 2-0 on aggregate. They won 1-0 on the road last week, and then today they won at home. Nashville, who eliminated Inter Miami to get here, and they also eliminated, was it America? Just couldn't handle a team like Tigres, and that is how we kick off episode 507. So welcome everybody. Let me see if we can get people online.
De hecho, se siente tan bien que la gente se está preguntando,
¿Qué está pasando aquí?
¿qué está pasando?
Can you guys hear me?
Could hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. Welcome, Joel. How we doing?
Good, man. I missed a match. Forgot there was a match. Probably won't be interested until next season when Chivas is there.
Yep.
But good for Tigres. Good for Tigres, though. Always need to have a Mex team over there in the final.
Yeah, absolutely. Last year it was Cruz Azul who kept the tradition going. But this year, they obviously got eliminated earlier in the tournament, and it's either up to Tigres or tomorrow we have Toluca versus LAFC. Toluca lost 2-1 in that first leg. It was, they were down 1 goal, and then Angulo tied it up. But then LAFC scored another goal at the very end. It might be the deciding factor. But I know that having to play in Nashville and La Bombonera, the altitude, and obviously like the atmosphere and, the fans, it's going to be very difficult for LAFC. And I would not be surprised if it's going to be another Mexican final.
I forget about the altitude, and it's actually higher than Mexico City.
It is.
And you always hearing about how difficult it is to play at the Azteca Stadium. There was this one player, who was it? He came to play in Mex, and he was talking about, it was Maxime. He said how players would bleed from their nose. He was talking about how when he was training with Ame, how difficult it was for him because of the altitude.
Yeah. Yeah, he just spoke up about that not too long ago, even though he, obviously left and kind of canceled his contract with America due to what he claimed, racism. He's over there back in France now playing. But for him to talk about Mexico that way, about the altitude and it being such a hard, difficult environment to be in, speaks volumes. And, I think it's such a shame that this upcoming World Cup, Mexico is only going to host a handful of games. Like, what would that tournament look like if they had the whole World Cup to themselves? How that affect the teams from Europe, right? Like, all these questions that unfortunately we're only going to see until the round of 16. I think after the round of 16, all the games will be played in the U.S. But yeah, today let's talk a little bit about the match, the Champions Cup match. Tigres just have basically all of their players. Nobody got called up from the national team, so they didn't lose anybody. They came out strong, obviously having the fans on their back. But the goal didn't come until the 68th minute. Juan Bruneta, he got a nice play. Beautiful finish, and Lainez came in as a sub, and Rifalo's gonna resonate with this. But what are we doing having Lainez miss out on this World Cup? It's very obvious that he's in really good form. We definitely don't have many players in his position. I know that we have Piojo, but Diego Lainez. It's kind of crazy how he's not even being considered for this World Cup, not even for the training sessions. Looks like we got him going here. Let me see if we can get Rifado in.
Hey, good
Oh, well,
evening.
he could. Oh, you're here. I was gonna.
Go ahead.
I thought you were connecting. No, I was just gonna add the comment that they said it a few days ago that there could still be changes to the list.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're being like the only phrase that comes to mind is basically fuck boys with the list, man. They're like, all right, we're gonna release like what is it, 12 players domestic, and then we're gonna release like 7 players abroad. So just release the whole goddamn list, please. But on to Diego Lainez.
Yeah.
He's in great form, just like you said. Today he didn't have his shooting boots on. He didn't have the courage to take the shot. He was one on one. It was on his weaker right foot. He's left footed. So I can see his reasoning in not shooting today, but he is in an excellent form. And what he had to say is that Javier tiene muchas opciones. Like the coach Javier has a lot of options, and he's going to choose whoever he thinks is the best for his style of play. And it's a question of like personal likes, like and he's been respectful with me, and I wish him the best. That's what Linez said. A very mature and
Yeah.
politically correct response. But we all want him there. You're not alone. I don't think I'm alone in that. This guy should go to the world. He should have probably been at the last one, but for reasons beyond us, he wasn't, and it looks like it's going to be a repeat of last time.
Yeah, it's definitely a head scratcher. I understand maybe not making the final roster, but to not even be considered as a whipping boy, it's doesn't really make any sense. Him and Oziel Herrera, who I believe got injured, so he did not play today. But yeah, I mean Tigres again had full access to all of their players today, secured their ticket to the final. Tomorrow is the return leg between LAFC and Toluca, and honestly, like MLS teams have really struggled when they play in Mexico. Obviously, it happened to San Diego, right? They had a massive, massive victory at home, but then they had to play in Mexico, and Toluca scored 4 goals on them. So for me, it's like, yeah, LAFC is MLS's last hope to represent them in a final, but I would not be surprised if Toluca end up getting through tomorrow. However, you have to acknowledge they did lose their Liga match against Pachuca, and something that really pissed me off before tonight's episode is hearing reports that they've asked Aguirre if they could use Alexis Vega and Gallardo for tomorrow's match, and I believe they allowed them to get reincorporated with the club. So what the fuck, man? Why the fuck are they making an exception for Toluca and Chivas over here fucking dying playing with Tapatio against Tigres, man? To me that really pisses me off.
Ya, güey, ya, sin llorar, carnal.
Sounds like Abdias, welcome.
Pues ya saben, cabrones, buenas, buenas putos. ¿Cómo andamos hoy?
Ooh. Dude, honestly,
I
man,
know, by the sound of things, te está ardiendo el culo, ¿verdad, güey?
no,
¿Cuántos te metieron?
Was it 3 this time?
3 or 4?
No, it was 3. It was 3.
Porque, güey, se sintieron como 5.
It should have been.
Like,
It should have
I'm
been.
gonna be
Yeah.
honest with you. It felt like 5.
Yeah, no. I mean, obviously, it's kind of weird, right? Because with all of our seleccionados, we lost by even worse margin, right? It was like 5-1, 5-2. But with this Tapatio team on Saturday, it was 3-1. So less of a blow, but nonetheless, it's very frustrating to have such a great regular season and then get the rug pull, for Liga, which, everybody says, hey, we knew this ahead of time. It's not like they changed the rules up on us. But they are. The rules are changing. Like Rifado said, a little bit about the list, like, oh, anything can happen, things can change last minute, right? There's always like a little asterisk in the terms and conditions. And then, with Toluca pulling this bullshit, like, hey, we could really use our seleccionados for this, elimination match. Oh, yeah, sure, fine. It's just like, come on, man. Like, if you allow that for one team, you have to allow it for everybody else. Chivas, after this, should be allowed to play with all of their 5 players on Saturday against Tigres. There should be no excuse.
Sí, güey, pero también, no mames, es que, mira, primero y antes que nada, vamos a hacer lo más importante aquí. Lo que pasó en el episodio pasado fue Albert y muchos de aquí se fueron con los pinches espejitos que la indiada siempre se va. Le creyeron a la federación. Tomaron la palabra de Dulio Davino como si fueran la pinche ley. ¿Y qué pasó? Literally, the next day after recording, they pressed him about it. And he said, no, pues verdad, la lista todavía puede ser manoseada, ¿verdad? Se puede mover. Hay ciertas personas que se pueden subir y bajar, no está finalizada, ¿verdad? La lista final va a ser la última que entreguemos. Entonces, no mames, güey, le creíste a la Federación Mexicana, ¿verdad? Y ahora, como le encanta decir a Joel, ¿verdad? En un pinche país donde tienes que tener a payasos y títeres y otro tipo de pendejada y media para explicarle a la teleaudiencia el fútbol. No mames, güey. Esas pendejadas están pasando. La Federación Mexicana es un pinche chiste. Ahora, aquí está la verdadera pregunta. ¿Amaury tiene los huevos y suficiente poder en la federación para que le regresen sus jugadores? Igual que Pachuca.
It's a good question. I know his daddy would have for sure had. He would have been on top of it already. I don't know if Amaury has the balls to do it, but he should absolutely do it.
Like, cause that's the thing. Like, if it's already has been allowed for Pachuca to do this, where your doppelganger has to like do something.
It was Toluca, not Pachuca.
Oh, sorry, Toluca. And so if that has already been allowed to happen, come on, man. Embody your old man.
The asterisk might be that they're not starters, but I say it and I don't believe it. Maybe for Alexis Vega, but Gallardo, who's no spring chicken, who should be rested and preparing. He's a vital part of the team. Vega, he's probably coming off the bench. It'll be Quiñones starting on the left if we play with a winger and not 2 strikers. So I am baffled by it, and it's so inconsistent and amateurish by the federation to say one thing and then do another. And I'm seeing a pattern. There's some more recent, what is it? Fucking inconsistencies. Ron's always telling us to be consistent, and I wish the federation would listen.
It's a slippery slope, right? Because if you give permission to one club for them to use their players, I understand that it's different circumstances because it's CONCACAF. You're representing not just your own club, but the Mexican National, League. So, yeah, it would be in the FMF's best interest for it to be an all-Mexican final in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, and then, securing basically at least one team from Mexico representing, in the Club World Cup. So, I understand why they would make an exception for like this CONCACAF thing, but fuck that, bro. Like, if you're going to let your players go back to their respective clubs for this, why should we treat Liga any different? And, the fact that this is done now, before, I wish this could have happened before the first leg, because now we're down 3-1. And even with our 5 players, I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. to be honest, I don't see Chivas, being able to turn this around because they're going to have to score goals. And that's something they've been really struggling with lately. And then also, we don't have, with Wally in the back, I just don't feel very, very confident. And Raul Rangel has been sat down for the last couple of matches, so he's out of the rhythm too. So, for me, it's just like they really fucked up by letting Toluca do this. And if I was a club owner and my team's in Liguilla and I've had to release my players to the national team, I would be having a major bitch fit right now.
I mean, you kind of are, aren't you?
Yeah, but I'm not a club owner. I mean, I would be out there fucking cracking skulls. And then, again, like you mentioned, like kind of like backtracking on, oh, we did make this list, but there's no guarantees, right? That's some fucking bullshit, bro. They already had the clubs on their social media, celebrate and say, so and so is going to the World Cup. And to me, for that to be announced, 2 months ahead of the World Cup before you've actually submitted your list in stone to FIFA, I thought that was a little bit premature, almost as premature as like Jimmy Lozano being on the cover of the FIFA World Cup game 2006. He ended up not making it to the roster. That's the levels of prematurity that I'm looking at. And for me, it's like there's one thing that I've learned at a very young age is like, yeah, with the national team, like a lot of shady shit can happen and nothing's guaranteed.
That's exactly it, man. Like it's just gonna happen. The biggest thing is what is gonna be the outcome that comes of it, right? Because if the players are gonna stay in there, what are we gonna actually achieve? Are we actually prioritizing club or prioritizing country? Personally, I'm fine with it, right? Whatever happens, we all knew what the rules were gonna be. Now, if anything, I mean, just look at it as Chivas taking steps in the right direction, right? Last season, you guys were celebrating un campeonato de la pretemporada, right? Where you guys beat Liga de Expansión type teams and all that. Andaban bien caliente y les partieron la madre. Esta vez pueden celebrar que ganaron la etapa regular de la liga, ¿verdad? De ese torneo. So maybe next tournament, you can win the whole thing.
There's not going to be a next tournament because we're going to lose players. It's very obvious that after the World Cup, teams are going to be shopping. I don't anticipate Hormiga making it past the summertime, and who knows who else on Chivas will get picked up, if they have a successful World Cup or if they even, go to the World Cup. I already know there's like rumors going around and stuff. And, that goes for a lot of clubs in Mexico, right? Like I think Israel Reyes is linked to Roma. I mean, a lot of teams are going to get fucking, ransacked after the World Cup. I mean, that's just the reality. It's the summer, biggest transfer window after the World Cup. There's going to be a lot of movement. So, as strong as we finished in the regular season this season, there's no guarantee that we'll be able to replicate success. There's no guarantee that we're going to have the same players.
Damn, bro. Where's that guy that like 3 weeks ago was talking cash shit? Like, I think I want to cash in that one. Like, I want that guy back.
Yeah, bro. Nah.
It's all doom and gloom now.
It is doom and gloom. Because I'm starting to see it through, right? You're proud that you got 5 players to go to the national team. And then you're like, well, what does that mean? That means that we absolutely got dismantled for our own for our own personal, gain. We gave it up for the greater good, which is a national team. But then you start seeing like, again, things kind of, people start questioning the language and what was actually stated. And you start realizing, wait a minute, like there's no guarantee these guys end up going to the World Cup. Something can happen in the training camp. Aguirre might change his mind. Some of the players in Europe might get healthy and finally get fit to play, right? And then all of a sudden we fucking tore out our team for what? For a training camp and to not even make the final cut? Like, that's some bullshit, bro. That's some fucking major bullshit.
I mean, just remember the words of your club idol, your greatest fucking like el más grande que tienen del club. Chivas juega a otras cosas. La grandeza de Chivas es otra, ¿verdad? And I've been thinking about this. And it's that old adage, or at least what the old heads used to say about Chivas and the national team, right? Que cuando le va bien a Chivas, le va bien a la selección. And unfortunately, you're seeing what happens. Hey, you know how you can avoid all of this? Pretty simple. Every other fucking team in the league does it, except for you guys.
Yeah,
Extranjero, señor.
we had a real Champions League, today with Arsenal securing their ticket to the final. They played against Atletico Madrid. You don't see any other country pulling their players at this time of the season. You just wait until they're required to release their players, right? Like you just let everybody finish their seasons with their respective clubs. They're playing at a very high level, and going to a training camp is, and people were saying they're not even there for training. They're out there fucking doing commercials and fucking advertisements. And that's true. Like all these players right now, they're just doing a bunch of media bullshit. They're not even fucking training.
Come on, man. You're starting to pocket watch. All right. Now here's the deal. Yes, it is a fucking waste of time that they're doing the media deals, but let's not forget what this fucking song and pony show was all about. All right. We've talked about it multiple times about the level of advertisement that we've seen when we travel into Mexico with all of the old heads. We've joked about how none of the people on those fucking billboards are the ones that are going to the World Cup. So obviously they have to shoot new campaigns, right? They need fresh material because the whole team got redone. Now, the other thing is going to be, come on, man. Don't lie to yourself. No te ilusiones de que somos la misma cosa, ¿verdad? De que la Liga MX es igual de competitiva a cualquier liga de la Champions allá. No mames, güey. Son diferentes cosas. Hay razones por lo que esos jugadores y esas selecciones europeas no están teniendo este proceso que nosotros estamos teniendo aquí. También, si vamos a estar haciendo este proceso de comparación, vamos a hacer esto. ¿Cuántas otras selecciones han tenido 3 diferentes técnicos durante el proceso mundialista?
Yeah, right.
No mames, güey. México está en la mierda. We're trying to save face for our own World
It's not
Cup.
ideal, but someone like Morocco, I think they had a coach for like I think a month before the World Cup last time around, and then he had a miracle run. So like just because we have 3 coaches does not mean that we're gonna fall on our face. It's not that
Rifado,
simple.
no mames, güey. Espérate, güey. Hay formas. And what was the thing that was said about Morocco the whole time? It's fucking ugly football. It's anti-football. That's what you were watching for fucking 90 minutes.
They also have more players in Europe. So
Is that how you want us to play? Is that how you want your selección to play?
that's basically Vasco's MO. So FMF thought along those lines, I think. They were like, let's get the fucking Bombero in here who plays like dog shit for shitty teams, battling relegation, and once in a while has a great run, like he did with Mallorca a couple years ago. So, it does sound like they wanted to go the Morocco route. The thing is, though, is that we are, what's the saying go, a tale of 2 cities or some shit like that, where like we're the Chiqui Grandes, where at home against the fucking minnows of CONCACAF, we play with like protagonists. But as soon as we get someone who's of any real merit, we play like a reactive team. We cede possession and we play on the counter. And so because we are neither hot nor cold, but lukewarm. We don't transcend.
Wait,
So
you're talking in general or this selección?
I'm talking about this selección. So like
Okay.
like when we were playing Belgium, like I think the whole second half we were on the back foot, like defending for our lives.
Well,
You
yeah,
know,
that was one of the top teams. But this is like something we've talked about. It's not so much the coach. It's that Mexico for a good while hasn't had that many players. So you that was one of the talking points a while back. You could have brought any coach; it wouldn't have made a difference because he was still going to have access to the same exact players. I mean, not too long ago, there was a question of who's the goalie going to be. If we look at the strikers, there's no striker right now that's hot aside from Mormida, who's a rookie. So I would say it's this problem. It's something that's been cooking for. We could go back maybe 2 World Cups, but it's looking good. I would say moving forward with some of the moves they made with the league, and now there's a good crop of young talent. But this selección, man, it's been a hot mess, and I would blame the Federación.
so I would go so far as to say that we still don't know who the starting goalkeeper is going to be. I'm still not convinced that Vasco is going to go with Rangel.
Really?
It's just a Vasco thing, man. He would
Yeah.
switch it up in the last fucking minute, like he did Conejito for Ochoa.
Sabes que Ochoa is looking good in training, so we're gonna go with our guy.
He could, but you know what? Compared to before, there was like uncertainty, and not much trust of who could step in. Now, if you could have either of the three, I think people would feel pretty calm about it.
I have a question because it's been 16 years leading up to the 2010 World Cup. Like when we had those friendlies against Italy, and who else did we play? I forgot who we played right before the World Cup.
Holland,
Was Oscar already starting, or was Ochoa starting in those games? I don't remember.
Me neither, man. Me neither. But I don't know who he's gonna put today, man. He talks a good game about Ochoa, and it scares me every time I fucking hear him mentioned. I'm just like, this son of a bitch is gonna start him, isn't he? Isn't he?
well, we don't have to remember. We could just look it up. I'll look it up and see who was starting. But but I mean, you still think Ochoa would shit the bed if he started?
He's not the Ochoa we've known from, you know, previous encounters. I think he's really past his prime, and it would be embarrassing to have him start in this World Cup.
Ouch.
Hold on, guys. I had a little bit of audio issues. Are we already at the Joel Ochoa nut writing segment? Because we do this all the time, way. No mames, Ochoa isn't the fucking goalie that you remember. All right? Look at his games in Cyprus. Look at how much shit he's eating.
He did.
Look at the fact.
A howler the other day.
Look at the fact that he's already announced his retirement after this World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no mames, way. I know that you look back on, your heyday with rose-colored glasses, but Ochoa's wasn't it. All right? He had good moments in the World Cup. The rest of his career, hot shit.
So I would go so far as to say that, like, even prime Ochoa had glaring deficiencies. He's afraid to come out. He's weak in the air. He was never a perfect goalkeeper. But we got to recognize this guy turned up every World Cup. I remember he had a shutout against Brazil at home, penalty save against Lewandowski. He's come big. He's come big, and a lot of people are betting on him to come big again as some historical send off. But I don't think, like, even like a turned on, like inform Ochoa still has glaring deficiencies. And I think those deficiencies are like fatal flaws against top tier competitions.
Yeah.
You have to be good in the air. You have to be confident coming off your line. And those things have never been his strong suite.
Rifado.
And you have to be a sweeper now. You have to be able to like play out the back and dribble and stuff.
Well, he can do that. I think he's pretty good at that, at least.
Go ahead, little hat trick. Welcome.
Yo, what's up, guys? I just wanted to say those are clear deficiencies by all the goalkeepers that are formed in Mexico. Technically, Tala kind of breaks the mold because he's tall, but I mean, and yeah, I guess he does play well enough with his feet, but it's not like he doesn't make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like
He spits out the ball too much for my liking.
Who does?
Tala Rangel.
But but again, I think these are all things that we see in every single goalkeeper that is basically formed in Mexico, and it even happens to foreigners.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna come in here really hot because it's the second time that you say this. Are you talking about current keepers in Mexico, or are we talking about the keepers that we grew up watching? Because there's a clear difference.
I think it's more modern because I mean, and look, okay. I think I'm a little younger than most of you guys. When I was watching soccer, I've been watching soccer since fucking I was like 7, right? And I remember there's been some really great goalkeepers. A lot of them in Liga MX, a lot of them were foreigners though. And outside of like because for me, Osvaldo Sanchez was like an underrated goalkeeper, and he's one of like the first goalkeepers that I remember watching with Mexico. But nowadays, it just feels like there's a reason they're a bunch of mid, because they all deal with the same deficiencies. And Ochoa, even though I think he kind of he made it further than pretty much any other Mexican goalkeeper, but his glaring mistakes are things that if you watch right now, you'll see Tala make those mistakes. Malagon make those mistakes.
What mistakes specifically though? Because I think Ochoa's deficiencies are way different than Rangel's deficiencies.
What I'm saying is that I agree that Ochoa, for example, coming out to cut corners, he doesn't really do that very well. He's never really done that. It's almost like he's scared of it. Tala, I've seen Tala come out confident and whiff.
Yeah.
And we've seen Malagon, another goalkeeper that he's not very confident coming out. He chooses not to, and we've watched him whiff, right? They've all whiffed. It's just something that, in my opinion, it's just something that happens in Mexico. I don't know why, but I also am of the mind that Talavera and even Corona, because I know Abdias is talking about Ochoa, and he's basically having like this revisionist history, calling him mid and saying that he wasn't the goalkeeper that we remember because he idolizes Corona, who, again, I've said this before, I love Corona. Corona has made me very happy.
Corona
personally.
was mid as fuck for La Selección, man.
But yeah, he's mid as fuck. I mean, we remember that meme, that picture where he threw without no metió las manos. That's who he was
against Pirlo.
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing you could do at that free kick, but not like putting your hands behind your back. It makes it look a lot worse.
And I would say Talavera was good in the air. That guy was tall as fuck. So I thought he was he breaks the mold, and so like he had deficiencies that Ochoa didn't have, and someone like Malagon doesn't have today, because Talavera was good in the air. He was an aggressive goalkeeper. I liked him. I wish he was younger. I wish he was active right now, because I think he's got what we need, and that's an aggressive, tall, good in the air goalkeeper. I think that's one of the most important things that a goalkeeper needs.
The elephant in the room is
espérate,
we don't have a tall goalkeeper. Everyone's like barely 6 foot. Rangel is like the tallest one. I think he's like 6'2", 6'3", but that's not saying much in the world of goalkeepers. But go ahead, Abdias.
Mira, ¿sabes qué, güey? Me vale verga. All right? Mexicans are slowly getting taller. Like that's what's gonna happen. At some point we'll catch up, but guess what? Wait,
I'm waiting on Chicha's growth spurt.
We still have Yucatecos. All right. So at the end of the day, fucking beaners are short. All right. Now we do have that strange stock every now and then, like, yo, you have Wale, right? You have
Gudinho.
That's literally what I was going to say. We have Gudinho, who's tall as shit.
He was such a tronco, man. Gudinho is trash, dude.
I know, but he was tall.
Gudinho is trash as soon as you start looking at him. Like, it's kind of like possums, right? They fucking play dead as soon as everyone starts paying attention to them. That's Gudinho.
I think
actually no. Sorry, I'm confusing them. Sebastián Jurado. Jurado's another tall one. But he's yeah.
Let me look him up. Because Gudinho's 6'5".
God damn, he's that fucking tall?
Yeah, he was tall, dude. Yeah, Jurado's only 6'2". He's not that tall.
I mean, that's tall for most fucking Mexicans. All right, like I said, we have Yucatec in Mexico.
Nah, dude, 6'2". That's like the bare minimum it should be.
How tall is Tala?
I'm looking it up right now.
I think he's 6'4".
So Courtois, for reference, is 6'7". That guy's probably one of the taller guys.
You look at everybody else's goalkeepers; they're all fucking huge.
All right, but either way, what I was here to say was, pinche sombrerito aquí is talking shit about mi gallo de oro. Y antes que nada, güey.
Pues también es mi gallo, güey. I love him.
Respect. No. No me lo ningunees ni me lo pendejes así, güey. No mames.
Tres campeonatos gracias a él.
No
I love
mames.
him, bro. I have his picture on the wall. You don't have his picture on the wall.
hey, but one thing, I just want to interject one thing. Just so we have some reference that's gonna be the devil's advocate in this like tall boy fucking conversation. And Keylor Navas is only 6'1". And there's something about him, dude, is very imposing. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe his arms.
It's his massive fucking balls, bro. That's what it is.
Yeah. Wait, it's his nose, bro.
Let me ask something. Did you guys watch him whiff on that ball that ended up in a penalty?
He had like 10 fucking badass shots, dude. Like, I mean, shot stops, dude.
Yeah. But I mean, he whiffed on a routine ball.
Espérate. Which one that ended up in a penalty? The one where they were wrestling?
No. It was the second one. It was the second one where Keylor actually, like, he goes to basically like cut a center and he misses it. Like, it kind of bounces off his hands, and then he actually would have been a penalty, but then the play kept going, and then the second penalty was called. Go back and watch it. He whiffed on the ball.
Go back and watch the rest. Fucking gift the match to fucking America. I'm good.
Right?
Sin llorar.
No. We'll get into that later. We'll get into that later.
Wait, no. Lo de la América no es sin llorar, cabrón. Es pinche trampa. And we'll get into it. Porque quiero al otro puto americanista que venga, pero you know what? Someone mentioned Libertadores, and he'll come around knocking. Because ese cabrón le traigo ganas. So, but what I was going to say, fucking Corona, way, he always held on to the ball. Like, doesn't matter. He would go out, go into the air, boom. Like, he had fucking glue in his hands. Talavera, great at fucking closing down the corners. He was aggressive. He would go in hard against the floor, right? So we had this era of goalies that were the example to follow, and you could try, the youth could try to emulate certain things. But guess who was the one who got the most attention? Guess whose style was put on display the most? Was it the best one, or was it the most marketable one?
No, it was the best one. Dude, Ochoa had an assist at 18 in a final, bro. Like, what do you want him to do? What do you want? You want him not to, like, what? Like, he was fucking great, bro. Did he make mistakes? Yes, they all did. I can find mistakes from Corona, from Talavera. The truth is, though, is these are all legendary goalkeepers in Mexico. Like, I feel like we took it for granted.
Nah, legendary's being thrown a little too loosely here. Let's just call them club heroes.
I don't
Bro,
want to say
Corona
legendary,
is
but what I
is a
will,
legend, bro.
he is. He's a Cruz Azul legend.
For la
But here's
selección, Ochoa. Wait, no, I thought you said.
No,
Oh, you thought you said
I'm
Ochoa.
I'm not talking about selección because they didn't really play. Ochoa is a selección legend. He's up there. Whatever you guys think, he's like probably a top 2 goalkeeper.
One. Selección.
Yeah, I mean,
Ochoa's the one.
I think he's the best one. But
He's
I
one.
mean,
There's no
let people
argument there,
tell it in
man.
here.
Zero arguments here.
here's the
We're not
problem.
fighting.
We got spoiled during a certain era where we had really strong goalies, right?
There you go. Yep.
And the problem was, at least me personally, and the resentment that I have against Ochoa is that he held on to the position longer than he should have. There was mistakes that he had where the one of the other two could have done a better job. You could have put him in there and they would have performed.
Well, it's Aguirre's fault because when he should have started, which was in 2010, he didn't. He gave it to fucking Oscar Perez, who was like ancient at the time. And in 2014, when you could arguably say that was probably Corona's time, he gave it to Ochoa. So it's just one of those things that you got to thank Aguirre for fucking up the whole timeline.
Damn, I hadn't looked at it that deep, but yeah, he's our own fucking personal.
I would blame Televisa, man, for providing Ochoa as an industry plant, dude. They fucking pushed him on Aguirre, and Aguirre was like, "Fuck that,
Hey,
I'm gonna go with the old man."
I have no regrets.
Yo.
It worked out in the end because, like everyone said, he had iconic World Cup moments. Let's call it what it is. Fuck his club career. There's just players that you should not judge by their club careers. Giovanni Dos Santos comes to mind as well. But when you talk about suiting up for the national team, this motherfucker put the Superman cape on his. He just showed up for the World Cup, and that's all you can ask for. But I do think that it is time for us to move in a different direction. We're not going to get that Superman Ochoa that we've had for the last 4 or 5 World Cups. This one would be he would be exposed very bad. The game has changed. Now everybody plays out the back. You have to be a sweeper keeper. You're no longer just have to be behind the post. You have to be able to be aggressive, contest air balls. Players are bigger. Everyone's bigger. We were talking about Korea. Well, I was looking forward to playing against the Koreans because, vertically challenged, but apparently they've been fucking feeding them some shit because they're taller now. They're actually grown in height. So you have to contest balls in the air. You have to be aggressive, getting outside of your box, especially when, everyone's fucking parking the bus, and the goalkeeper has to basically be at the 50-yard line. Like Talavera does that really, really well. And Ochoa, like, we're seeing what he's doing in Cyprus, bro. It's embarrassing. Like, he should have retired already. But, they want to put the feather in the cap. Mexico wants to go down in the history books as having a player that went to 6 World Cups. Let's all admit, this is what we're doing it for. It's for the marketing. It's for the history books. He's still active. Why not call him up? It's not going to hurt anybody if he ends up going to the World Cup, taking up one spot. That's fine. I just don't want him starting the World Cup. That's all.
So which third player would you take that you would say would be better than Ochoa?
Which goalkeeper?
Yeah,
Like,
that would be better than him. Aside from the 2 that are already there, who would be that third keeper that you would say is better than him?
Well,
That if the other 2 got injured, you'll feel good with him stepping
Wait.
up.
Who are the other 2?
well, it's
Acevedo?
Rangel. Who is going to the World Cup? Because we don't know.
So I'll answer Joel, if that's all right. So right now it's Acevedo, Ochoa, and Rangel, the 3, right? But I would prefer Carlos Moreno, the starting goalkeeper of Pachuca. He was in contention, and then they fucking dropped him. And so that's someone I would prefer over Ochoa. He's younger, he's in good form. Pachuca, they're surprising. They might be a dark horse. They just beat the bicampeón at home. And this guy was part of that shutout. So, I think he should be in contention, and instead it's Ochoa.
I would have probably gone with the young gun, Alex Padilla, but he's kind of unproven. Oh, I have Albert wanting to jump in. Let's see if we can get his audio to work. Welcome, Albert.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Talk to us, bro.
Oh, you guys talking about the goalie situation. Well, the the third goalie in this mini camp is Garcia from Leon, but everybody was making some people were making a case to Moreno like Rifalo, but I don't think Moreno's ready. And let's be real, the third goalie never plays. I mean, there was a shit with Aguirre in 2002 when he took Campos. Campos didn't fucking Campos was he was there for moral support. As we saw when in the Tokyo Olympics, because there was no people in the stands, we were able to, hear what's going on the field. Ochoa's a leader. He motivates guys, and this, especially with a lot of these young players, this is what the group needs. So I think, given that it's either that or a green guy like Moreno or Garcia, why not take a guy who could be another voice of authority on the bench? And like I said again, we all saw those videos in Tokyo. He was talking like a boss, and the players responded. So I think it's and again I'm going to reiterate, the fucking third goalie doesn't. I don't know of a third goalie that has played in the World Cup.
Hey,
So
Albert, you bring up a lot of great points. Thanks for coming in. Number one, I highly agree that the most underrated feature about a goalkeeper is their leadership. You have goalkeepers in the past that maybe had the skills, but just didn't have the fucking character, the balls, the leadership to really like affect the game. I think of like Luis Michel for Chivas. Like, he had all the fundamentals, but he didn't seem like the type of guy. He was just always very stoic, and coming from like the goalkeeper that he replaced, Osvaldo Sanchez, who was fucking loudmouth and fucking potty mouth. But that was the part that I loved about him, right? He reprimanded players when they fucked up, and you need that. Another thing that I don't know why no one ever considers is having a PK specialist, like especially if Mexico ends up going on a deep run, they have to go into the PKs. Like, I would, for the third goalkeeper, I would literally like do like a fucking Moneyball situation. You look at the statistics and say, who is the best Mexican goalkeeper at blocking penalties? Let's take him as our fucking wild card, third option. He comes in. If we end up in a PK situation, he'll be our goalkeeper.
Well, who is that, Jaime?
No, that's what I'm saying. We need to do a Moneyball situation where we see who would be the best goalkeeper at blocking PK. I don't know who that is.
Well, no mames, way. Dude, look. Think about it this way. I think, first of all, I think our legends, they deserve a farewell tour. Mexico, we're not winning shit. I mean, you guys just talked about Aguirre being, like a bombero and all this stuff. I don't think we're doing very much at all. But besides that, I'm pretty sure I was just thinking, and maybe I could be wrong, but out of all the active goalkeepers in Liga MX, I think Malagon's the only one that's played like an official match with Mexico. So and he's injured, he's out. So Ochoa is the only other goalkeeper that has played an official match with Mexico, which is absolutely nuts. I think it's good. I think we need somebody that could, if something happens to Tala, if he's a starter, something happens to Tala, we at least know that we got Ochoa, who's experienced. Because shit, bro, all these other goalkeepers, they're kind of young. They're just not. They don't have that experience.
Yeah, good points.
So my argument. So I just want to piggyback off what Albert said. Welcome, Albert. What's it called? Oscar Garcia, the goalkeeper for Leon, 22 years old. He had an amazing end of the season where Leon almost stuck into the Liguilla. They had a new coach, and they had a decent run. And he's been a part of that, only 22 years old. I would have loved if he had gone, because we also need to blood the next generation. Oftentimes people like Abdias will say, it's not about this World Cup, it's about the next one, right? And part of that sort of thinking is like bringing in young players, bringing them into the process.
Wait, it's not about this World Cup. Why do you even go then?
Because
they're hosts. So just throw that in the dumpster. You're host, and let's just worry about the next World Cup.
No, well
bro, come on, it don't work like that.
It's not quite like that, but I'm just saying, there's a lot of people that are like, let's also keep an eye on the upcoming World Cup. And part of that thinking is
That's 4 more years though, man.
It is. It is.
Mira, espérate, güey. Joel, no mames, güey. Okay, so let's just look at it this way. What other team says, hey, regardless of the result, we're getting rid of our head coach? It doesn't fucking matter.
No, that's different.
No.
Yes, because
what other federation does that?
Aguirre just came in to coach the World Cup. He didn't.
He came in to do a fucking patch job.
That's it, but he didn't come in for the long term. He's never really liked being in there in the long term. And he's always done it like his way, you know what I mean? So he's got that fuck you pay me attitude. And that's kind of where it is. He's always done that. He shows up, does his shit, and he leaves. And that was the same deal. So he didn't come in to be the permanent coach.
Jolie, I'm with you, bro, because projecting players, especially young ones, 4 years from now is hard as hell. If you look at the last World Cup, I mean, Lainez didn't go, but we all thought that at this World Cup, Lainez was gonna be him, right? And maybe
Marcelo Flores.
Well, yeah, exactly. Marcelo Flores. You got Cordova. And Lainez, maybe it might be a thing where he didn't get along with the coaching staff, whatever the case may be. But it's still like shit. Projected. Do we really believe this 22-year-old goalkeeper from León is like the next one? It's hard to say.
You know what?
He's just a sparring partner.
That never works out. It never works out. It hardly ever works out projecting for the future. I'm going to give you an example.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the player, but I remember Klinsmann in 2014. He left out Donovan to take a youngster because, this guy's going to be the future.
Bayern kid that played Champions League?
Julian Green.
Yeah. The kid never
Green,
made it back on the team.
No, he played in Bayern, and and he went to play at the World Cup. I think he had a goal in Champions League. But you don't hear about that guy anymore.
No, and then England as well in that 2006. I don't know who he left out. I think it was, the young player was some guy named Aaron Wright. We never heard of him after the World Cup again.
But the thing is, the difference between those comparisons and this one between someone like Oscar Garcia and Ochoa is that Oscar Garcia is playing better than Ochoa right now, and he's younger, and he could use the experience to build a coalition for the future. So it's not just one thing or another.
But he's gonna go anyways. He's gonna go as a sparring. He's gonna be part of the group. He's gonna be part of the group. And so he's gonna get the experience. He's gonna, and you know what? Again, we don't know what we don't. Patrick said, we're projecting the future. Remember, they took all those sparrings to Qatar. Where are those guys? No, another guys are. One of them doesn't even play pro ball anymore. So projecting the future, I don't think a World Cup is not to think about the future. It's to think about, especially being that Mexico the host. You got to think about providing, and Aguirre is very pragmatic. That's why he's the bombero. He
what
thinks
was the
about
behind hiring Marquez as well.
Yeah, but that's to have that's to make a transition. But Aguirre is the man in charge, and he thinks about solutions.
They said it's about building something for the future. That's why they hired him.
Yeah,
so,
but
you did it for the fans, dude.
You don't use the world. You don't use the fucking World Cup to fucking think about the future.
Hey, Diaz just said it earlier, man. You're still buying what FMF says. I mean, they just did it with the list, bro. They're doing the Lucy pulling the football from a Charlie Brown thing, and you're going for it again, bro. They could have lined. Marquez can be sacked like if he has a shitty Gold Cup, and Marquez could be gone, dude. The Mexico media fans, they'll turn on you really quick, man. They don't give a fuck. They don't care.
You take youngsters and Rafa, who's seen as a big part of this project, and they fart and they fucking get kicked out in the fucking first round. That whole fucking project is stained. It's like, let's say, like, remember in 2002 when Argentina flopped, it was a lot of fucking good players, but Peckerman. Peckerman didn't call like Kilo Gonzalez a lot. ¿Por qué? Porque le decían que eran unos abanderados del fracaso. They were fucking stained.
Yeah,
So
you know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the big reason was also people were shitting on Aguirre, man. There was a massive campaign against him, and he's just proven a lot of things that were being said early on.
A year ago, they wanted Aguirre out.
Yeah, okay, he's not going to take youngsters. He's not going to do this. He's not going to, and he's proven a lot of people wrong. And it's kind of weird that the goalposts keep getting moved now. But, you know, he just came in to do the World Cup job to save it because there was a lot of fuckery. They messed up. They kept changing coaches, you know. So they brought him in to salvage that. But it's at the same time to do as good as they can.
To build a respectable team, and that's what he has done so far.
Okay.
Yeah, they're competitive.
So my rebuttal is that, you know, me believing, you know, the mantra perpetuated by the FMF is irrelevant. They said that here is a guy who is currently playing better, and not just Oscar Garcia for León, but Alex Padilla, who, you know, here's two players that are younger, that are playing better than Ochoa, who's not playing well in the shitty ass league on an island in the middle of the Mediterranean at 40 plus years old. You know, so it's not just that they're younger and that, like, he's focused on the future. They're also playing better now, both these guys. Than
Rifado, last time we saw that Leon goalkeeper, Toluca put 4 on him. Then the game before that, America put 3. Against Chivas, you guys put 5.
Rifado, you can't put too much weight on what the Federación says. They didn't Davino after the Copa America didn't he say that Lozano was going to come back and they fucking bounced him in fucking 3 weeks? You got to take what I say for a grain of salt.
I don't even trust what they say tomorrow. That shit is going to change.
Yeah. No, the key is that Mexico doesn't fucking get embarrassed on his fucking home turf. That's fucking Aguirre's fucking job. Aguirre is not here to fucking think about fucking 230. That's fucking Marquez's job.
Hey, Albert, so with that in mind, with him just trying to basically do, you know, damage control, do you think he will start Ochoa in the World Cup?
No, I think it's not like 2010 where Conejo was still competitive. He was with Jaguares. He was still being competitive, and let's remember, he doesn't have that relationship that he had. He doesn't have that relationship with Ochoa that he had with Conejo. Conejo became, when he took over in the summer of 2001. He brushed aside Osvaldo, and Conejo became his fucking man. He became his man in the back. So there was a trust. Obviously, in 2010, he didn't have that trust with Ochoa, being that Ochoa was in a good way. You know, well been a starter, but his man was fucking his man was fucking Perez, and this it's a combination of things. Like I said. The crop behind for the first time in my lifetime that I've been following Mexican soccer, the crop of goalies doesn't look like, oh wow, we have 2 fucking guys that could be starters. It doesn't look like that. So and like I said, I'm gonna reiterate, we're putting too much fucking pressure. Ochoa is gonna be the 3rd fucking goalie. There's no fucking way, especially since well. Obviously, Aguirre hasn't said that Talavera is the full-fledged starter, but he has constantly backed them up. He's come in, even when Magallon was still around. He was starting to take some start. He was starting some games. So I believe Tala is his guy. The thing is, how long is the leash?
I could see Marquez. Damn. What's his name? No, Ochoa. I could see him getting some PT as a send-off. He said he's retiring, so he might, let's say it's the 3rd game, Mexico already qualified, might sub him in the last 10 minutes or whatever, and he gets that send-off and a stick on.
Yeah.
they're gonna. I think they're gonna end up. The first place is gonna. It's gonna be. They're gonna. It's gonna be still on the line in the third game. So I don't think he's gonna. He's not gonna fuck around like he did in South Africa and fucking started fucking Blanco against Uruguay. That was a ill-advised decision. Yeah. No,
I just want to do a quick rebuttal to some slander by Little Hat Trick on this young goalkeeper. Yes, he did have a shitty game against Toluca where they let in 4 goals, but he had a close game against America, and then they had a 4-win streak, and he had 2 shutouts prior to that. So he's hot. He's a hot
Dude,
goalkeeper.
Rifado, only I think it was Mazatlan and Santos have like more goals than Leon, like allowed.
Yeah, they have a dumpster fire, but I'm saying they picked up form at the end of the season, and this guy was good on that. He was being highlighted, because they had a 4-win streak, and no one saw that coming. And then we're like, are they gonna make Liguilla? And then fucking Club America narrowly beats them, and then Toluca blows them out of the water. And then it's like, no. But just one thing about Ochoa, you guys are hyping him up, but the thing is, he's fucking washed, man. And any way you look at it, he's fucking washed. And the only thing he brings to the selección is the marketing and maybe some leadership. Like if we have a bad showing or like a bad game, he's the guy you can send out like a lamb for slaughter to the fucking media. He knows how to take it. He's on his way out. And that's great. That's good. But that's all he's fucking offering, honestly. And that's not enough. Like fucking bring 2 goalkeepers and bring another attacker. Like this free ticket marketing bullshit, and then maybe him like taking one for the team if they have a bad game against the media. Like that's not enough to book you a ticket to go. I think it's unfair, and I think it's foolhardy. And all these motherfuckers that are trying to paper over that are delusional.
I have no issue.
He's not gonna play, Rifado. It's just like I said. I'm gonna say it again. The third goalie doesn't matter.
Pero Albert, mira, y aquí está la pregunta, güey, que me ha estado quemando, güey, para preguntar. Neta, güey, me ha estado quemando más que cuando tengo que orinar. Aquí está el pedo.
Wow, you got UTI.
When you go to Pittsburgh, things happen. All right? So, how many games does Ochoa, or most importantly, it's not just how many games, it's does Ochoa need to be a starter to get that reconocimiento de FIFA for being, what is it, the goalie with the most, or does he just have to go?
He just has to go.
Because Buffon was credited, I think, for the '98 World Cup, and he didn't even play. So it's just, you just gotta be on the squad.
I mean, Ochoa went to the 2006 World Cup. He didn't play, and the 2010, and he didn't play.
Okay, because to my understanding, it was you had to play.
No, you just have to
be
go.
counted. Just be on the roster.
You have to
just be on the roster.
You
Yeah,
just have to be on the roster. Obviously, there's probably a different record for most World Cup.
I think that changed in the late '80s, early '90s.
Yeah, because
so that's it. Wait, he's just fucking throwing his boy a bone.
Yeah, it's fine. Again, I have no issues with him being the third goalkeeper.
The last time they paid homage to a goalie was in the '66 World Cup, where Mexico was already eliminated, and Nacho Calderon ceded the starting position to El Tota Carvajal, 5 copas. That's the last time I remember they played homage. But those different times. The team was already eliminated. I don't think Mexico is going to be eliminated. If by any chance Mexico is just no, but right now, especially with teams going in as a third place, I think something's going to be on the line for Mexico. But let's say in a bad scenario, I don't know. I just don't see them playing homage to tribute to Ochoa. I think he's just going as a moral leader and just a veteran presence.
Who gets more playing time? Memote or Ochoa?
You don't need Memote to play more than 5 minutes. Just get him in.
I think that's a good. If Habibi was here, he would probably put money on that. That's a very good bet. I have no idea. I think I don't think you take a player like Memote if you don't plan on utilizing him for like you mentioned a Hail Mary situation.
It's a tactical piece.
But I honestly would not be surprised if maybe we do have first place secured, and then he ends up starting against was it Czech Republic? Who knows?
And he would deserve that. I mean, would any of you guys be like mad about it?
I think
in this scenario,
I would, because you want to give the continuity to the starting goalkeeper. I wouldn't be upset if maybe you sub him in for like the last 10 minutes or some shit, but to like bench your starter who's only had 2 games to really show what he's worth, I think it'd be a mistake to bench him for the 3rd game. But who knows, man? At the end of the day, dude, Aguirre's gonna do whatever the fuck he wants to do, and I would not be surprised if Ochoa is a starting goalkeeper against South Africa, and he's like, sorry, man, I fucked you over in 2010, but I'll give it to you right now.
So going back on the point I brought up, how if Tala is the starter, how long is the leash? If he fucks, let's say it's Mexico wins, but fucking Tala eats 2 goals. Does fucking Acevedo come in?
It would have to be like really bad for that to happen.
Bro, Acevedo's not. See, you guys have Ochoa as the 3rd goalkeeper. I have Acevedo as the 3rd goalkeeper. Acevedo's never seeing the pitch.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's Tala, Ochoa, and then Acevedo. I honestly think that's the pecking order. And I have no problems with that. I have no problems with Ochoa being our starting goalkeeper either. I really don't. Like, the goalkeeper is the last of our fucking problems right now. We have other issues, starting with who's going to be scoring our goals, because it should be Quiñones. That guy's scoring fucking goals every fucking day. He's like the top goal scorer in the world right now, isn't he? And
he's got 29 regular season goals, leading the Saudi Pro League.
Aguirre's going to be like, yeah, that's nice, but I'm going to put you on the wing. He does not give a fuck, bro. Like,
yo, if you look at his last goal, he's on the wing, cuts inside, and fucking scores a goal. Or actually, no, he's on the right, and he drifts inside to score a fucking goal. So he is a forward technically, but he does have that versatility to him where he can drift out wide and cut in. And so like, and he looked good for us on the left wing, man, during this last international window. I don't mind. We need fucking width, man. We need pace on the fucking on the wings, dude. And
girth.
This guy's got it. Sure. Yeah, we need girth.
We need girth. And I think he should be starting, honestly. Like, he's just in such great form. I know it's the fucking Saudi league and it looks really, really bad. But at the end of the day, man, like, confidence is like the other part that, the player, it's very important. If you're in form, if you're scoring every week in, week out, like, for a striker, that's fucking goal. It doesn't matter if you're playing in the 3rd division or the 1st. Fucking Cuauhtémoc Blanco was playing 2nd division ball in 2010, and he went to the World Cup. So it's just about.
But you
confidence.
know what? The Saudi league is not that bad. I remember what was it, a Saudi. No, but it wasn't a Saudi team. Didn't a Saudi team bounce out fucking Man City? Like, they have the type of Brazilian players that used to come and play to Mexico, like the B tier guys. And they have some decent players. I wouldn't say it's not MLS where fucking the fucking cones put out more resistance to the fucking defender.
It's pretty bad.
But they're top heavy.
Yeah,
they are top heavy. So it is like the MLS in that sense, in that they have 1 or 2 fucking badass players and a whole lot of fucking domestic trash.
It's really
a whole lot of fucking cones.
I want to talk about the results over the weekend because we have some action on YouTube chat. Nacho Huerta says, America will beat Pumas. And I responded, with or without help from the refereeing. Let's start there with the Clásico. Is it Capitalano? No, I can't fucking pronounce it. God damn it. Anyways. Capitalino, Pumas, America.
There we go. Someone practiced it.
Bro, I did. I listened back and I was like, fuck.
I was practicing it, but Lil Hattrick beat me to it, man.
I'm like 2 beers in right now, so I had it, then I lost it. But that was definitely the match of the weekend. A lot of controversy. Puma started off early with that goal with Juninho, and then Violante tied it up 1-1. Antuna makes it 2, and then Jordan Gary with a pinche golazo made it 3-1. I was texting my neighbor like, congratulations, you guys are doing great. And then I didn't account for the fucking referee, man. I cannot believe the game ended the way it did. And
hit it, Jaime. Hit it.
I'm trying to find I don't have the soundboard anymore, dude. Wait. There it is.
It didn't play. Fuck me. Penal para América.
Honestly, man, what a fucking joke, dude. This fucking America Televisa, they drag our league, dude. They make us a joke with some of the shit they pull, dude. Because like both the penalties, those aren't my issue. My issue with this last match is that Club America was able to sub a player off and then sub him back on without any repercussion.
What?
And
that right there.
You didn't know that, Jaime? They were able to do
They're
that.
never beating the allegations,
shit.
bro.
They're never. After two.
They literally shoved the player back onto the field.
Bro, are you guys trolling me? What the fuck is going on? Bro, do you guys have like another group chat? You're like, yo, let's just fuck with him.
No, man, no, dude. I just believe my eyes, and what I saw was a fucking robbery by America go unpunished.
Bro, the game was stopped, man. They never the referees never even put that substitution in.
They did, and you.
No, they didn't. Go look at the referee notes at the end of the game. That substitution never went through.
They fucking wiped them, dude. They fucking marked it. They had him on, and then they took his ass out.
The game was stopped.
Bro, he was clear and out of the pitch.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? The game was stopped.
Wait, so what happened?
He left the pitch, and the substitute went on. They had 12 players for a moment.
They both left the pitch at the same time.
Wait. So back up. What exactly happened? Because I've been hearing about it all week on Twitter.
So the Uruguayan defender, what's it called, Cáceres, he goes down, possible concussion, right? But it's really just an injury. But the Wheelers are saying that possible concussion protocol.
No. He got concussed, bro. He's in concussion protocol, and he's done. They broke his fucking like his cheekbone or some shit. He might, bro. I think he's gonna be out for maybe even a month.
For the record, it's his eye socket. He has to undergo surgery.
Wait, so he got injured. Okay, then what happens?
And so the referees, they fucking mark a fucking cambio. The cambio happens. One guy is subbed off, another guy comes on, and then they immediately fucking yank him out, and then the guy who was already off the fucking pitch gets to come back on and what's it called, and play the rest of the match. And so like some people are saying that the rules stipulate that they should lose the fucking match because like that's illegal. Like ineligible player, right? You know, I think Viñas was on the pitch for what's it called, Club America.
No, he was on. No. He was on the bench.
He was on the bench and he was supposed to be in the stands, and they had to forfeit the game, right?
But that's the thing. At that time, it was COVID protocols, and the stands were an extension of the bench. So
like he was an ineligible player, and the game was forfeited because he was where he shouldn't have been. In essence, the same thing happened. The player is on the pitch and he shouldn't have been because he's supposed to be subbed off, and they don't do anything about it. And like this argument that Little Hattrick is saying that the refs never counted it. If the refs never counted it, why was Club America fined then for this move? They were fined for doing this illegal substitution. And so like if they didn't count it, then why is Club America paying the fine?
Oh, I know why.
Wait, is that official now?
They're getting the fine, and which is a slap on the wrist. You know, like other people argued that it's not reason to invalidate the results of the game. They're saying that it just warrants a red card. And so, but we didn't even see that.
So for the record, because I heard about this and I've been keeping my ear to the ground to see how all of this is going to shake out. As of yesterday, today I didn't have a lot of time to look into it, but as of yesterday, the way that things were looking was that Pumas had officially filed a complaint with FMF about it, or La Liga, right?
They wanted the game tossed. They wanted the game forfeited, and then the FMF said no. Instead, we're gonna los vamos a multar. They're gonna fine Club America, and so for them to be like, yes, we're gonna fine them, is to admit that there was an illegal substitution.
But you hear the explanation that they gave as to why it's allowed? Which is bullshit. It's 100% bullshit. But here's why it's allowed. Because apparently the coach can change his mind as to which players getting subbed in and off as long as the game hasn't resumed action. So I can't wait until somebody else tries this and they tell them, no, señor. Fuck out of here. Or better yet, I bet you this. That loophole is about to get closed real fucking quick.
Well, the thing is that, the whole reason was because of the concussion protocol thing. Like, that's why there's like, it's like up in the air, because they were making the substitution as they were bringing Cáceres out to get checked out. I think it's fair. You guys don't think?
Yo.
So the concussion protocol specifically states that a substituted player cannot be substituted back on because of a concussion. It specifically says that, and those are the FIFA regulations, and they were posted by Ron today. And so he was subbed off. They had the numbers, and then they were like, wait a second, no, let's bend the rules for someone. Let's be inconsistent and bend the rules for our darling Club America.
I think that's one way to look at it. I don't see it that way. I think there was just a lot going, because even look, when I was watching the game, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Because I was so confused, and then they were kind of showing the hit on Cáceres and whatnot. And so I think the players and the referees and the coaching staff, I think they were all confused.
A lot of miscommunication. Confession time.
Yeah, because the only ones who caught on to it was the medical staff. If you look back at the playback, it's America's medical staff who notices, and they're the ones who are shoving them back onto the pitch.
Well, he's like the assistant coach, but yes, I mean he shout out to him for knowing the rules and for pushing him back onto the field and everything. I mean, we have to remember, bro. We lost Borja. Like he's gonna be out for at least a month. I thought he tore his ACL. I think it might be just like a sprain.
It's torn.
It's torn.
It's fucking torn.
I saw that he was gonna be gone for like 4 weeks or something like that.
Nah, man, it's torn.
So what I'm saying is, we just lost one player. Cáceres is probably out for Liguilla, like because I think he can play unless if he wears a mask, he can play. But I mean, if he gets the surgery now, will he be ready for the World Cup? I don't know, right? But these are things that he might have to consider. So, we're losing 2 players, and then we're making a substitution beforehand when we already lost Israel Reyes, who's our center back. Mind you, Cáceres center back, Miguel Vázquez is center back. Israel Reyes is gone to the World Cup. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, fuck, well, like what? It's a tough situation.
So give them 2 PKs, give them a little handicap, is what you're saying? That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing
the
is
PKs were fine,
if
bro.
you
Come
can
on.
cheat and get away with it, do it.
We should give America a pass because they have a lot of injuries.
That wasn't cheating. No, that wasn't. Well, hold on now, because
sorry. Let me refrain. If you can exploit a loophole, exploit the shit out of it, and then shut it down as soon as it can benefit somebody else.
Hey, we have to raise money for America. They're really struggling. Give them a PK or 2. They're really hurting right now. They got a lot of injuries. But if you're Chivas and you're giving up 5 players to the selección, yeah, go fuck yourself.
Pinche lloriqueo. Look, man, we're already watching. They're gonna let Toluca play with 2 players tomorrow, right? With Alexis Vega and
some fucking bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah, so our FMF is a fucking joke.
Okay, well,
so
just wait until America asks for permission to have Israel Reyes back, because we're dealing with a bunch of injuries.
And then Chivas, they're gonna be like, in fact, we're gonna take more of your players away. So no.
Now, hold on. We're just having a fucking gripe fest. That the first penalty, the America way, Carrasquilla was the one that was assaulted.
Yeah, I was so confused. What the fuck was that bullshit, bro? That was such a bullshit call.
And the second one was soft too, man. Fucking Henry left his fucking leg there and it was a forwards foul, and then he made a meal of it, dude.
It was so bad.
they were both soft enough to be like, you could give it, yes, you can't give it.
Pero si fuera Chivas, if it was Chivas, no, clear penalty, bro. No, clear.
Bro, they're complaining. They're complaining about not giving Marina a red card.
Did you not see Chivas penalty? It was so fucking soft. It's the only way they were able to score.
What are you talking about? We didn't score on a PK.
It was in this one?
No, dude. They were complaining that Marin fucking gave the player a plancha and he should have been red carded. And that goal shouldn't have counted. But
also, there was like a Tigres foul on a Chivas.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was the plancha.
Yeah, it was a plancha.
Which, for the record, it shouldn't have. It should not have counted.
That's fucking bullshit, bro.
No mames, güey. You cut off the path of the defender.
Bro.
He was clear as fucking day going to ball.
Pero
¿sabes qué? Wait, no, hold on. Right now we're shitting on America. Tú y yo will go at it in a little bit. Pero no mames, güey. Al América le regalaron ese pinche partido.
Oh, yeah.
If anything,
Fue Pumas, se cagaron.
It's not our fault.
It's not our fault that our rivals, they just get scared, bro. You know more than anybody else that Cruz Azul, as soon as you guys got to face America, it doesn't matter how good you guys are.
Oh, my God.
Las piernas, bro. That's what happened.
Two penalties, I'm like, okay, maybe the champion spirit. Then that substitution shit happens, man, and it's too much, dog. No one can fucking believe you. You're never beating the allegation.
Carrasquilla was fucking. You're not. He was in a bear hug. He was the victim. Carrasquilla was a victim on that PK. That's why I was so confused when they called it. I'm like,
he's not the victim. You see what you want to see, bro. You guys have already talked about him being a dirty player. He seemed as a dirty player. He's an idiot.
He's Panamanian?
No, don't you remember when he...
You know what? Yes.
He's a dirty player.
Panamanian. All right? That, and he fucking crippled my goalie. De mala leche.
Bro, he fucked him up, bro.
Mexican elitism, bro. What the fuck?
All I know is the game's rigged when fucking Henry Martin is able to score a goal. No mames, way.
Bro, hey, man. El tricampeonato... He had a
dude.
El premio de goleo. No. Hold on.
Is at 100
hold
now.
on. So he won, and then he dealt with injuries. He was gone. He was like damn near retired for like a year, and he still came back and got a goal in Liguilla before Amiga, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, you know what? We were shitting on Club America, but I want to give my flowers to Isaias Violante. He scored the only real Club America goal. Shout out to my boy, 22 years old.
Nah, fuck him.
Like
who gave him that pass? Who gave him that pass? That assist?
I forgot. Was it Zendejas? I don't know.
It was Pato.
Oh, it's Pato Salas. I was going to give him kudos. I didn't know he gave the assist, but he did have good link-up play. He's got a maturity to him. It's not easy to be a 9.5, and he's got a maturity to him. I know Hormiga way fucking better than him, but Pato Salas, he did impress me with his link-up play.
Jordan Carrillo's goal. Jordan Carrillo's goal was fucking nice.
Yeah. What a fucking chulada, man.
No, can we talk about Cota, bro? I don't know what the fuck happened to him.
Bro, fucking cheeks.
He's washed, man.
But but the thing is that he's never looked this bad. Like,
he didn't even move. He just looked at it. He was just a bystander.
That's what I'm saying. There's that one shot that kind of hit him like on the thigh. That I was so confused. I think it might have been like the second goal, maybe.
I think he had an aneurysm, dude, mid-game.
Yeah, no, it was bad, dude. I was like, damn, dude. I mean, I know you guys lost your starter, but for a second, I thought Cota was gonna be a worthy, replacement. But he looked really bad, and honestly, that's probably gonna be the reason why America gets eliminated in the second leg. They can have as much referee pool as possible, but their goalkeeper is a liability.
We'll see what happens.
What, you don't think Efrain's gonna come in and step on next?
Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember when he hugged his son? And his son, like, why did he get to do that? Since when do we allow people that aren't on the teams to join them?
This fucking guy, dude. You got gifted the game, complaining. You're calling the manager about the.
I'm just saying. Since when do we allow people that aren't on the team to just join in and?
You're right.
Celebrate.
It should be a penal for America. I agree.
Bro, little hat-trick is just flying right now. I feel the whole like Ave de las Tempestades type vibe coming through.
dude.
Since when do we allow hockey substitutions in the league?
It's so crazy, man. But that's just Liguilla. Hate it or love it. We've been on both ends of it, like as a victim of it, and obviously benefiting from just shitty refereeing. I just can't believe that with the end of the regular season, this is the best we can do, really, with the referees. Really, this is the best we can do. It's incredible that they have the VAR accessible and then they don't use it. And look, I'm gonna be try to be objective in that Chivas game, because there was a lot of things leading up to Tigres equalizing that was going in Chivas's way. That goal that Marin scored, I think it was all ball. I understand that he made contact with his heel, but it's all from the run of play. There was no malice intended. He was going after the ball. He had control of it. He ends up putting it back in the net. That's fine. But there was a couple other instances. There was a very high kick from one of Tigres' player. He hits the Chivas player. That didn't even revise. That didn't even bother looking at it. It was a straight red card, like, contended play. Like, I just don't understand why they didn't even bother looking at it. And, to me, it's just like the refereeing in that game was really bad.
Yeah, that fucking Chivas goal should have been disallowed. Like, you can't tell me that he doesn't cut off the path of the defender.
I'm not denying that there was contact, but I don't think there was malice intended.
It's not the contact. It's you cut off the path of the defender, which was directly to the fucking ball.
He was
like
he was trying to control the ball, and that was just his fucking leg happened to be there, but it wasn't like,
okay. Now flip that play the other way. Make it an attacker versus a defender versus an attacker.
What?
It's a penalty. Wait, look at it from the other side. If it was a defender going for the ball, trying to control the ball the same way, and he made contact with an attacker, it would be called a penalty.
I don't know. I thought it was a clean play.
No, because it benefits you.
Nah,
that's why. Because it fucking benefits you,
dude. It was all in the run of play. It's not like he tried to, like, hit him intentionally. Like, he went to go control the ball. His leg got in the way, but it's not like
intent doesn't change the fact.
He went to control the ball, dude. It's not like he went out of his way to hit him on the fucking leg. Like, I don't know, dude. It was a clean goal. Is all I'm trying to say.
It should have been disallowed.
I think players should 100% be reprimanded for being torpes.
If that was the case, man, America wouldn't win half the amount of titles they have.
Well, if you look at our squad right now, they're fucking dumb. And don't forget, we did lose Pantera Zúñiga. I just remember that we lost Pantera Zúñiga, like, before the game even started. Wait, leading up to it.
What happened to Pantera?
Bro, Cota fucking injured him, bro. I guess it was like I don't know, some sort of play in training, and he ended up with his clavicle broken.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he crashed. Yeah, Cota crashed into him. I think it was like on Monday or Tuesday, and he had to get surgery, bro. I just remember that right now. So, like, damn, we're really down bad. If Jardinet can pull this off, whew.
If the rest can pull this off, it'd be impressive.
Well, I hope so. I hope we get 5 more penalties.
Hey, Albert, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to pull out your journalistic hat and tell me who was the VAR ref at the America match. Because those penalties were called by VAR. They weren't called on the field. So
no.
Who did that?
The second penalty was called on the field. He was right there. He saw it.
Perdón. The first one out of the 2 that are highly questionable were called by VAR.
So, you guys can't see the YouTube stream, but I'm looking at this play that is very controversial, and it's right before Tigres end up scoring and equalizing the game. It's Efrain Alvarez. He's a 50-50 contested ball. And the fucking Tigres, the defender, fucking sticks his like foot out, like, and he fucking clobbers him, bro. And the referee didn't even bother looking at the play or revising it. And that's my question: is like, who's in charge in when it comes to those situations? Because I know they have a dedicated like control room for VAR, right? But it's like, when are they allowed to intervene? When is the referee supposed to like? There's a lot of ambiguity there. I don't get it.
Hey, man, I understand, bro. I mean, like I said earlier, well, not earlier, but I've said it before, where you were the only one that came in and stood on business and said, "Yo, Toluca got some calls their way in that final." And there was a lot of actions where VAR didn't say nothing. They just played ball, and it was fucking weird. And now we see Toluca. I mean, not to divert the conversation, but like Toluca is now, they had an action like that this weekend where they should have maybe gone a red card, and I don't know, bro. It's looking a little fishy.
Yeah, it is fishy because we also don't get the audio feed from the VAR. So we don't really know what's exactly going on. You know, if I was to put my fucking conspiracy hat on, it's just a matter of someone's making a call to someone very high up and says, yes, give them the PK. Let's make this an interesting game. You know, America's really struggling right now. Let's give them 2 PKs. Let's tie this game up. Because that, to me, that's what's happening, bro. Because they got their little earpiece in, and then you just get the phone call, and then you got to just do whatever the boss tells you to do. But I wish they would be a little bit more transparent as to like, how are they utilizing VAR? When is the referee allowed to like check in with them? When are they allowed to just say, hey, like, you really need to review this play? It's just, they don't really discuss that, and it's very confusing because you'll see some games where they do use VAR, and then you'll see some games where they don't. And it's just like the inconsistency is what bothers me.
It honestly feels like it's like in the NFL where in the playoffs they kind of let the players play more. You know, they kind of let the cornerbacks hold a little bit more, the O line. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's some of that, but to me it's if it's like a clear red, it should be looked at, or it should be a clear red. And you're right, the fact that they don't even go to VAR is fucking crazy, because if it at least go to VAR, at least do it. It's there.
But they need to do what they do in the NBA, NFL. It's just like, you get 2 challenges per game. That's fucking it. That's it. You have to use them strategically. If you use it early in the game, it might fuck you over later. I think they should just let the bench, like, each coach has a chance of like, I need you to review this. And then after that, however the game goes, that's how the game goes. I think that's the way it should be.
I say that if you win your 2 challenges, you get a third.
Yeah, I mean, that would also be, you know, I think just make it strategic, make it fun, and that way you don't get that like fucking annoying ass.
But that
like,
was the green card in the under 20.
Did they?
Yeah.
That's right, they did do that. Yeah, they should do that. I'm a fan of that. I like it, because then it's like, all right, once you use your challenge, that's it. Just game rolls on.
If you allow me to interject, going back on the issue with the Toluca players, I was watching a video on record right now. Davino was at the premiere of some fucking movie, and they asked him about it, about Gallardo and Vega, and he just fucking said, solo estoy hablando de la película, and he fucking stormed out.
Yeah, what a bitch. We had Atlas and Cruz Azul, pretty entertaining match. Dude, I couldn't watch it. I was really upset, but I knew that it was going to be a good game, and in the end, Cruz Azul miraculously walk away with the victory. But maybe Abdias can give us some more light there.
Honestly, man, it was a good fucking match. Unfortunately, another game that was decided by penalties. Right? So there hubo de los dos lados, y nomás neta, güey, I'm gonna be honest with you, los estuve viendo de reojo, but it was a good match. It was back and forth, hubo putazos the whole time. After watching parts of the Chivas match, I was like, well, shit, we finally have a good match.
Hey, where are they hosting La Vuelta? Were they able to rent a municipal field?
¿Cuál, güey? We're playing in El Azteca.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and under Wiki, todo, so ya sabes, papá, todo está bien de este lado.
So I just want to touch on that game a little bit. What I think is so interesting about the Wiki era is that we finally have what's his name, Rotondi as a winger. I always thought he was too offensive to be a left wing back or a right wing back, and now we have Omar Govea on the left and we have Rodarte on the right back role. So like we see like a more pragmatic side, but also Rotondi has the freedom of a winger, and I think that's good. I think Cruz Azul looks good. A dark horse to win it all. We'll see if they can pull through. They did get a easy draw, but the next round I don't think they'll have that luck.
I always get confused with Palavecino and Paradela. It's like, bro.
Bro, the two Palas is such a fucking mess. Now, the Rotondi thing, right? He's always meant to be a winger. The problem was the way Anselmi had the team working. Dude, it was fucking total football, right? So he had him in the back. They would flex up, and he would be essentially playing the winger role the whole fucking game. That's why he was able to get so many goals when he was in that position. It's just after he left, it was patch job after patch job, and nobody really knew what to do with him. And it's like, well, on paper, he's this. Well, then let's keep on playing that, right? And with the fact that he's a good player, he's able to give you results. He's able to be threatening, and yeah, he scores the first goal. Luego, mi pinche morenito de oro. What is he? Somalian? Nigerian? I think he's Nigerian. Comes through, scores the second one. Fucking Gonzalez from Atlas ties it. Más penal, otro penal, right? Luego, Edebe, my morenito, ¿verdad? Penal otra vez. So at one point, Cruz Azul is leading 2-0. Shit's looking good. I stopped paying attention. Y luego, me meten el dedo en el culo, güey. So it's going to be interesting. If anything, the good news about this is if everything goes to shit, right, and the game ends in a draw, Cruz Azul still moves on.
I have a question. Is this a completely different team compared to Larcamón? I feel like the players are responding better.
No, it's what I mentioned last week, right? It's the fact that Wiki is putting players in their natural positions. It's like, hey, this is where you're supposed to be playing. This is the role that you play. Let's put you in this fucking position.
I 100%
and the team
agree.
is just working.
So Larcamón had Omar Campos, a left back, as the right back. And I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing, dude? And so now that Wiki's taken over, he put Omar Campos as his natural position, left back. And he's looked great there. And the team is more balanced with, Rotondi higher up the field. So I don't know, Wiki net positive so far.
Hey, if Cruz Azul wins the title, the Wiki to the Selección chants are going to start.
Oh, hell no.
Have a true Mexican, a true morenazo.
I don't know about all that, Chief. But
you know what? I'd be willing to sacrifice him as an assistant. Like, just have him on the sidelines. You know why? So when the national anthem in El Azteca is fucking banging, they do a shot to the darkest person in the stadium, and it's fucking Wiki.
That's funny.
Like that.
Wiki looks like he would have been a warrior, like with so many scalps. Like he looks like he's like a proven winner back in the day.
He would have been a Jaguar warrior.
Yeah, he is Jaguar Paw. Like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, he's already like in his mid-40s. He's like my age, and the guy, like they say, black don't crack, brown don't fade either.
He's got great skin, man. I've seen it in person.
Bro, he's covered in the finest oils.
Bronze, like Mexican bronze.
My favorite thing about Wiki is like on Twitter, all like the photos of him have him hella fucking like photoshopped, hella yoked and shit. It's just fucking hilarious, dude. Like he has like these fat ass arms and shit.
I'm not gonna lie, I rather believe that is the truth. Like that's the Wiki Dios that I remember. I want.
That's how people perceive him, and it's so funny because the team's responding under him, and if Cruz Azul end up going on a deep run, I think everybody will be like, yeah, pulling the plug on Larcamón was probably the right move.
I also love how self-aware he is, right? Because before the Saturday match, there was a press conference, and he said, "La liguilla aún no está muertiña," which is like he understands the fucking joke.
Yeah,
he knows what's going on. In fact, one of my favorite stories that's come out, one of the old podcasts came out. It was this old comentarista. I can't remember who it is, but gave him the nickname of Pocahontas. Right? So when they would retell the matches, they would refer to him as Pocahontas. Pocahontas, Pocahontas, Pocahontas. So one day, Wiki's wife confronted him at the hotel, and while she was like grilling him and doing all of this, Wiki's in the background just fucking grinning because it's a joke that he had already set up with his wife to get, like, not so much to get back at him, but just to bust his balls. So it's just one of those things, is the sense of humor that he has and the way that he's able to manage the locker room. Because let's not forget, man, he was managing fucking chavitos, right? And the big thing that is said about Larcamón, and I guess not so much said out loud, but you kind of see it and you can read it in the fucking room, is he was an asshole. He lost the locker room at some point. You know what speaks louder than anything? Not a single fucking player from Cruz Azul has posted a farewell message for him.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Abdias.
Mande.
Let's say Wiki Dios wins the title. Are they going to do him dirty like Sanchez?
I don't know, man. So here's my deal. I want Wiki to get a shot. A good shot. And guess what? This is a good fucking team. So, because the investment has been there, right? Cruz Azul just won a multi-million-dollar purse that they can reinvest. They have a film about the whole Billy Gate that's coming out and is going to be generating money. So, presupuesto hay. I say let them keep it, but unfortunately, you know how Cruz Azul is.
I mean,
we all know how Cruz Azul is.
They've been saying that Cruz Azul is one of the teams that's interested in Matias Almeida. But I mean, Wiki makes it to a final. They lose and they lose. I mean, I think they would, but they did it with fucking Vicente Sanchez. The guy fucking took him to CONCACAF. He won it, and they let him lose. So it's pretty fucked up, but that's how they roll.
And that's the thing. So for Vicente, they said que le faltaba proceso. Right? But in reality, it's the fact that they skipped over the athletic director. So get the fuck out.
There's a power play.
I'm gonna bring in my own guy. Exactly. So now we're in this weird place where, unfortunately, Cruz Azul is a fucking heartless team. All right, it's You know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of, and probably a lot of us remember it, was the way Terrell Owens describes his conversation with Jerry Jones when he's told that his contract isn't going to be renewed. Like, T.O. was at the top of the world. Everything was going well. He went into dinner with Jerry thinking that they were going to sign a contract, right? Jerry sits at the table. They have a meal and everything. And at the end, he tells them, he draws the line. It's like, and this is where we part ways. You know, we're not going to re-sign you. We're not going to redo any of this. In fact, we're going to sell you. Like, thank you for everything you've done, but time's up. Just cold, heartless, thank you for your service. I'm going to get what I can out of you. Fucking wild.
You know what else is wild? We had Jonathan Espiricueta was recently featured on a podcast, and he admitted to some certain things. I'm going to play the clip. Let me see if you guys can hear it. But it kind of makes, because everyone was blaming Tuca, like he benches youth players, never use youth players. But then Jonathan Espiricueta, ends up saying some stupid shit, and you see a different perspective.
Me quedé dormido, carnal. Me quedé dormido, entrenaba a las 9:30. Yo creo que Ronaldinho no entrenaba en su etapa que estaba aquí en México, güey.
No, pues dicen el vato que llegaba y desaparecía 2 o 3 días. ¿Quién sabe?
Qué chulada.
Yo también, nunca te desapareciste.
Yo también, güey.
Nunca te llegaste a desaparecer en un entrenamiento o o sea, nunca llegaste así de que, la verga, no voy a
herido. Una vez me pasó, güey, estando allá en Veracruz, güey.
Ok.
En Veracruz, allá con Lucas Ayala, güey. Lucas Ayala, güey. Y yo tenía mucha confianza con Lucas, güey. Sí, siempre tuve mucha confianza con él, güey. Él sabía, güey. Yo nunca estuve lesionado, siempre...
¿Quién era el entrenador?
Él era mi entrenador. Siempre trataba de rendirle y de...
All right, thank you. I don't want to be that asshole, but yeah.
Well, they'll be able to hear it on the record. But yeah, he basically said that he went partying on a Saturday or after a game on Sunday. He was supposed to report for training the next day, and he slept through his alarm, and he showed up to practice. Like he wasn't able to go to practice or whatever. He showed up hungover and all that stuff. And that was when he was at I think he said Veracruz or some shit. So, Jonathan Espiricueta, he was a player that a lot of people had high hopes for, and then he just didn't pan out. And he doesn't even play professionally anymore. He's only 30 something years old. He's 30. So yeah, it just goes to show, man, a lot of these players are just very unprofessional.
I remember what's the name at what was it? One of those campeón de campeones in 10 years ago. Espiricueta he was on Tigres, and he didn't even look like a professional player. It was he looked like a fan. He had a little bright backpack, and he was just really walking all nonchalant. He was just that guy just didn't look like a pro player.
Yeah, you look at him now and you're like, damn, bro, he just looks like a scrub. If I saw him on the street, I probably wouldn't even recognize him.
And if you guys remember, a lot of people puteaban a Tuca for not playing him, but I guess he wasn't focused. I guess he was living that Mexican dream.
Yeah. Well, the Tigres players in Monterrey, they live like rock stars. It's like they fucking they're fucking they're treated like gods. So imagine at that age, and then he had won the World Cup. So he was living well without really doing much on the field.
So it's funny because the name of the podcast is Promesas Falladas.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Promesas Falladas podcast, bro. So you're going into that episode as a guest, already as yeah, you fit the criteria. You're a fucking failure, bro. You're a bum. What are you doing nowadays?
I want to say Trophies was a failure because he got to play.
Trophies ended up winning silverware though.
He won stuff, but he was in failure. He could have been selección. He could have been way better. Yeah, he could have, man. He had that talent.
Who should go on that show? Gauchito Avila. I remember everybody was fucking all.
Gaucho.
Oh, the Chivas.
Gaucho
Yeah.
Avila.
Yeah, I don't know, because Trophies actually was more of a reality.
No, but you know what?
Even at Pachuca.
They put that fucking nickname, the Mexican fucking Messi, on him, and I think that fucking killed him.
But also,
he
like,
killed
you could see
himself,
his
bro.
attitude.
Eating fucking tortas and partying and.
Yeah, he would show up to after preseason. He would always come back.
Hey, Joe, remember when they played that amistoso tournament after the pandemic, and he fucking showed up and he had a panza. And
Copa por Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah, that at that point I was like,
and then
Chivas had just invested money, and this guy's
Dude, I saw him when he got loaned out to San Jose, man. He fucking showed up with like a fucking gut, dude. I'm just like,
he was cacheton.
And I'm just like, obviously, like some people just have that build, right? They just look burly and stuff, but they're not overweight. They just look like I know Tortas Moisés, ¿cómo se llama? Moisés Muñoz.
Moink.
Everybody thought he was fucking fat. But he just had like a fat face, and then when he took off his shirt, you're like, oh wow, this guy's actually like ripped. It's just his face doesn't do him any favors.
Didn't he grow up in your hood over there in the Bay Area?
Yeah, Redwood City. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember Fox, they had him in 2018, and he fucking spoke fucking like California English.
Yeah, he spoke fluently. Yeah. We have Ron joining us. Ron, we were just talking about the 2 gifts that you received over the weekend, the 2 PKs. Welcome.
I thought it was cheesecake.
No, I thought the foul, or I thought the penalties were legit. I thought that.
Of course, you're gonna say they're legit. They're in your favor.
No, I mean. No, it's not about that. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, the guy on the first one, I mean, the guy was getting molested in the box, dude. I mean, what the fuck do you expect?
Garaskia was getting molested. I agree.
The what do you call it? The Panamanian player, I forget his name.
Garaskia.
Puma. Yeah. Like, no, dude. It's like, come on. It's like, I thought that the penalties, I mean, nobody wants to win with penalties, but you'll take them. But I thought they were legit. I thought they were legit penalties. I thought that I heard some of the officials, the pundits that are, former refs, some of them were basically saying that, the second one was more, more clear than the first one. But I disagree. I thought the first one was more egregious than the second one. So, I mean, I thought that that the penalties are non-issue. I thought overall, I think, whether you're a fan of Chivas or a fan of Pumas or America, I thought it was a really good game.
It was a good game until the referee showed up. I think it was a great game.
Well, but here's the thing. I mean, it's like one of those things where, when you're a defender and stuff like that, you always, you were always taught, hey, when you're in the box, you put your hands in the back, in the back, right? Don't give the official a chance to mark a penalty, right? Those guys, it was stupid. I mean, those guys basically, the defenders, for Pumas, they were idiots. So I thought I thought the Pumas played a better first half, and then America turned it on. To Efrain, I think Efrain fucked up by playing for the result. I mean, I get it, 3-1, but when you allow yourself to basically, keep getting attacked, one of the things that could happen is basically, allow the team to get inside your box, penalties. But for me, I think the takeaway is that America basically started really bad in the season, and they've gotten better. I still, like I said, I still don't think they're the favorites. but based on what I saw this past game, I do think that America will take it. I think they'll take it and advance to the semis.
With or without the refs' help? Because that's,
I was just about to say.
No, but I mean, you're super leader, and then you're basically crying about the penalties, and then crying about the substitution, which the head injury protocols and stuff like that. It's they're basically reaching, dude. They're already coming up with an excuse.
I mean, I don't think it's reaching. So America was fined. If they did nothing wrong, why was America fined?
Well, the if you go back to the telecast, there's a what's his name? Reynoso made a comment saying that it was a shit show there, right? And the thing is, it's the officials are the ones that actually fucked it up because they allowed too many people. First of all, with the concussion aspect of it, they should have stopped the game. And like, if you look at the bylaws, it's like 3 minutes. They shouldn't even have entertained substitutions until a player's health was basically attended, right? So I mean, that's for starters. Secondly, it was a shit show. That the official, fourth official, and stuff like that, they just allowed way too many people there, and it's like it was just chaos. And if you go back to the telecast, Carlos Reynoso said something about that, and I agree. Now with the FIFA protocol of a concussed player, America could have basically used it, and if I'm almost positive that they did substitute him as a concussed player, then that would have basically given Pumas another substitution of their choosing, right? An additional one. So I really don't think I think it's just a nothing burger. I think it's just people trying to people just trying to create a controversy, making a mountain out of a mole, excuse me, not making a mountain out of a molehill,
So the concussion protocol states that a player who's been subbed off cannot, under any circumstances, be subbed back on, and that's exactly what happened. And so
you're talking about Cáceres?
No, I'm talking about the guy who was subbed on and then subbed off during the Cáceres.
Cáceres is the one that got injured.
Yes, and then they did a substitution during that time. The refs allowed it, and then they subbed the guy on, and then they immediately pulled him out. I think it was Espinosa for Vasquez.
But the thing about it is, you have to rewind. None of this should have ever happened because Cáceres should have been attended. The game should have stopped. They shouldn't even have entertained any substitutions until.
And yet they did. And yet America was fine.
But whose fault is that? Is that America's? Is that America or is that the officials?
But the thing is, it blatantly benefited Club America.
It didn't benefit. We lost two players.
Absolutely, it benefited.
We lost two fucking players of injuries.
It benefited them because they were able to sub a player on and then sub them back on with impunity.
No, come on. How many?
It's an
you're reaching. You're reaching.
And in the past,
you're reaching.
Players have had the results.
It should have started with Cáceres. With the head injury protocol. It ends right there. It starts and ends right there.
If that were true, then America wouldn't have to pay. If that were true, they wouldn't have to pay a fine. Why are they paying a fine if they didn't?
Because they're trying to weather the storm. Because of people like you and because of people like you and reporters like Jose Ramon and stuff like that. They're just basically okay, whatever. That's what that is. No, come on.
Rifado is our Jose Ra, bro.
I know he doesn't care for he likes speculations. He doesn't care for facts and stuff like that. But no, it should have started. No. The fact is that it should have started. It should have started and ended with Sebastián Cáceres being attended, and nothing else should have happened.
Then they shouldn't have paid a fine. Why are they paying a fine then? Just for fun? I don't think so, man. They're paying the fine
because they're creating a false controversy. Don't tell me that has happened before many times. This is not on America.
So you mean to tell me we didn't see a player step out of bounds, a change card be handed to the refs?
So hold on, rewind
and
it.
Then it happens.
What should have happened? What should have happened with the bylaws? What should have happened first?
Senor, the bylaws were thrown out at the beginning. So then what?
If you rewind it, the very first thing that should have happened was that should have been 3 minutes, nothing happened, and Cáceres should have been attended. Okay.
So then what do you want to do? Throw out the entire match?
No, it is what it is. The fucking officials, eventually officials. Okay, whatever. Okay, you're out. He's concussed. Blah blah blah. He's injured. He's got a head injury. All right, you're back in. Okay. But again, this goes back to that the head injury protocol was not properly implemented, and then obviously America had to basically get a substitution and stuff like that. Why? So what should have happened? What should have happened? America not got the substitution because of a concussed player?
No, you got your substitution. And then you decided to say, "Oh no, wait. No, I changed my mind."
No. But here's the thing: had they implemented the head protocol, where nothing is happening, nothing. The fourth official is not entertaining any substitutions from any team or whatever.
But nobody in Mexico does that. That's not the way Mexican officiating operates.
No, it is. I can even show you that.
It doesn't happen.
I can show you
the last match where that happened.
I can show you the FMM protocols.
No. But tell me, when was the last time the protocols were properly implicated?
I can show you the FMM protocols because it's basically across the board. Just about every that I know of, every league has them too. Because they're from my country.
When were they properly implicated within Mexico?
This is fan fiction by Ron, because not even America is taking this argument. Instead, they are paying a fine for improper substitution. So this whole rant by Ron is not what Club America is.
No.
On the contrary,
this is just Ron's mental gymnastics here.
No, if you search, you can search the concussion protocol, and people have been talking about it as well.
Senor, so that's not the point that I'm making.
Well, that's the point. That's the entire point.
You're saying about the way that it was applied within the America match, right? Okay, that's the way that it's written. Sure. So how is it applied within the America match now? How is it applied throughout the league?
You're shooting yourself in the foot, because if you're saying that, oh my God, Mexico doesn't do it, but if it's in the rules and the officials in past games don't implement it, whose fault is that?
Mexican officiating.
Right. Nowhere.
Okay, so then you just proved my point. So if they're not implementing it correctly, then whose fault is that? Is that Club America's fault? No, it's because the officials are sending mixed messages because they don't have the capacity to implement that protocol. But it's not like I'm the only one that's been talking about that. In fact, I got it from a pundit that brought it up, and then I started reading more about it. I didn't come up with this out of fucking thin air.
Neither the FMF nor Club America is taking this argument. They're saying they admitted that there was an improper substitution, and what they said is, we're only gonna fine them.
Which then goes against their own statutes.
Because whose fault is it?
But wait, if you read the way it's written in the rule books, there's two ways this shakes out. If it happens during regular league play, you forfeit the game 3-1. If it happens during Liguilla,
and this skill
you're automatically eliminated.
And if the officials fuck up inside the oven at 450 degrees.
Pero
no. If the officials fuck up,
¿quién sale de beneficiante aquí? It's interesting, right?
There was never an improper lineup, though.
There is, yes, because you can't sub off a player and sub him back on. That is the improper lineup.
That's not, bro. You have to rewind it You have to rewind it and go from where this shitstorm started because of Cáceres getting injured. Right then and there, blow the whistle, 3 minutes, attend the player, the America's medical staff, basically go and attend the thing. And then the fourth official that's on the sidelines, because of the head injury protocol, he shouldn't have entertained anything from any fucking team. That's the way they should have gone down.
And yet that's not the official MO.
And that's not the fault of Blue America. That's not the fault of Pumas. That's the fault of the officials, because they should know the fucking rules.
Can I ask what constitutes leaving the pitch? Like, what is that to you guys? Ron, don't answer this.
Stepping out of bounds.
Okay, stepping out of bounds of what? Hold on, Ron.
So here's the thing.
Hold on,
the FIFA protocol is actually very clear about this.
Ron.
For a head protocol, you don't have to be knocked out. You don't have to be. You can still have a conscience and stuff like that. Because I was actually reading about this again when I saw the other pundit bring this up, talking about the concussion protocols and stuff like that. They were going into detail about this. Like, oh, okay.
Ron, that's not a point of contention. Okay, what is leaving the pitch, Abdias? What is that to you? Like leaving the white lines, leaving the actual grass? Like what is that?
Out of bounds. Yeah, like when you're substituted, when you step out of bounds.
When you
so when you step out of the white lines. Yes.
And that's what happened.
Okay. So then, what do you call when they're kicking a corner kick, or when they're throwing the ball in? They're outside of the pitch, no? They're leaving.
They were subbed off. The players were put into the little thing.
So then
numbers happened, and then one left, and one came on, and then they put the guy.
He never even left the grass, which is my point.
He left the bounds. And then they put him immediately back in.
Oh, he took a step out.
Estoy pendejo acá. Estoy peleando solo on mute. So here's the flaw in your argument, little hat. Right? You're saying, you're trying to do the straw man argument. Pero entonces, why is it that players are able to run outside the line and then run back in? Right? In EPL and things like that. The difference here is the fact that the substitution process was done. And then they said, nope, get the fuck back in there.
How was it done? Like what constitutes it being done? Just the fact that they put the number up? That's it? It's done? Once they put the number up, it's done.
There's a card that they need to fill out.
Yes.
There's a card that needs to get filled out that gets turned into the fourth official that makes him light up the fucking numbers and do all that. That's the process that has to take place. That's the process that took place.
No.
And it took place all while Cáceres was fucking concussed.
So I'm actually going to put something in the chat, and I want you to read it.
A ver.
Ron, if it's more fucking cock porn, bro.
No, I'm
not about to be reading cock porn.
No. It's basically, I'm telling you, this stems from the officials not implementing properly the head injury protocols. But just read what I put there. This stems from the officials not knowing how to properly basically implement the head injury protocols and what can happen, when you substitute a player. And if you read it, it basically lays it out right there.
So with this logic, America wouldn't pay a fine, and yet they are. It betrays your whole argument.
This doesn't betray my own argument. This basically tells me that the officials did not know how to properly implement the protocol, and people are just creating they're just creating a false or a bullshit, what do you call it, argument.
What's false or bullshit about America paying a fine for improper substitutions that went unpunished during the game, and afterwards they had to just pay a small.
Did the officials do their jobs?
If this is on the fault of the officials, then Club America wouldn't be paying a fine.
Yeah.
So Ron, I'll paint it for you this way, right? You like to come in here and always be like, until you have a business and you have to balance your books, and you have to think about this as a business owner. Okay, think about it this way. They're just a ruling just came out that says you have to pay a settlement. What is said settlement? It's an admission of guilt.
It's not.
At
the end of the day, you know who looks bad here?
Hey, if you get a
do you know which team looks bad here?
Club America, of course.
No, it doesn't. It's actually Pumas. And you have guys like pundits. You have pundits like what's his name, Gomez Junco and stuff like that. That Pumas are basically being little bitches, and they're trying to win on a technicality that does not even exist.
It does exist, and the fact that they proved
it does not exist because the fourth official, and if you read what I sent you, the fourth official has discretion on the head injury substitution, on the concussion substitution.
No, it doesn't exist because it doesn't benefit America.
Oh God!
All right, that's why it doesn't exist.
Aunque el cuarto árbitro ya haya procesado el cambio regular, el jugador salió y el nuevo entró. Si el médico del equipo detecta o sospecha una conmoción cerebral, el cambio se puede modificar en el acta arbitral para registrarlo como un cambio por conmoción. Suck it.
Hey, Ron, while we're on the conversation
they should have stopped this. It should have never been an issue. And the official should have fucking completely stopped all activity on the field for 3 minutes, as the bylaw state. So the fourth official shouldn't have even fucking engaged with either the Pumas players or America's players for substitutions, because the attention should have been directly on Cáceres.
Hey, Ron, while we're on the conversation of controversy, today Toluca was able to reclaim some of their players that they loaned out for the, training camp for the selección, which kind of opens up a can of worms and a slippery slope.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Because if I read correctly, and if it's true that Toluca asked, Aguirre, and Aguirre conceded, you have to ask the question: did Chivas formally send a request? So there's the answer. If Chivas, if Milito, what's his name? If Milito sent a formal request to Aguirre, and Aguirre said, "Go pound sand down a rat hole," okay, then he's playing favoritisms. But if I read correctly, and if it's true that Toluca actually sent the request, and that Turco spoke with Aguirre, saying, "Hey, I need these players," then how stupid is Milito?
Yeah, I understand. It's like it's your fault for not doing everything in your power to ask and see if they'll allow you. But I just think that for me, it rubs me the wrong way. It's like, wow, what was the point of even having this training camp and having to release your players prematurely if you can just ask for them back? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, like I said, again, it's you never know until you ask.
But I feel like the fans and the clubs that don't really give a shit, it's because none of them are going to, like Tigres didn't lose anybody. Atlas didn't lose any. America, who'd they lose? They lost Israel Reyes. That's about it.
I think in Toluca's case, though, is because they're still in the fight for CONCACAF. And from what I understand, there's actually a lot of money now in the CONCACAF tournament, right?
Yeah.
What is it, like 10 or 15 million or something like that?
It's
Just to
substantial.
participate. Yeah, it is. It is substantial. So I kind of get Toluca's position.
Hold on, Ron, really quickly. It's not just that. It's the Club World Cup as well, which carries a fucking hefty purse of just participating.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I didn't realize that the club, had a hefty purse on it until like maybe about a week ago. I was like, oh shit. So for me, for me, it makes sense for Toluca wanting their players back because they're still they want to get the Liguilla and they also want to get the Conca champions.
So Ron, you're always talking about being consistent. How is this being consistent by the FMF? Is there a concentration of players to form unity, or isn't there? Because the idea of letting go Gallardo and Vega back to Toluca undermines the whole argument of having a concentración.
At the end of the day, who pays their bills?
The club.
Exactly.
It's just like it lacks consistency.
At the end of the day, I pay your bills. At the end of the day, your club pays your bills.
And it's very obvious that, yes, while they are preparing for the World Cup, they're also doing a shit ton of commercials, advertisements, marketing. These guys that are going to the training camp, they're spending their days, with photo shoots, putting on the new jerseys, like doing all these. Yeah, dude. So it's like, wow.
It's not, because you still have, it's not even like, not all the players are even there yet, because you still have the European based players. But like the saying goes, el que paga manda.
So why does all the clubs have to let their players go early and sacrifice their season objectives if the Toluca can just ask for their players back? It just shows a lack of consistency.
Again, that's a conversation that Toluca's front office had with the national team and the national team, the national team committee. If I'm Toluca, I would be if I'm Toluca, I want the Liguilla, and I also want the participate in the FIFA World Club, because from what I understand, the purse just to participate is substantial.
That's also like another good question is, okay, tomorrow they play against LAFC, and then what happens? Do they go back to camp, or are they going to try and play again on, for the Liguilla match? When are they supposed to give their players back? Like I said, this just really opened up a can of worms. And
what's LAFC? What was that? What, they won 3-1 or something like that, right?
2-1.
2-1. So again, I understand Toluca's point of view.
Well, Ron, nobody's saying that we don't understand Toluca's point of view. I brought up the idea that, we just lost Cáceres, we lost Borja, obviously we lost Pantera Zúñiga right before the weekend. America should ask for Israel Reyes. Fuck it, if we're asking for favors, they should ask.
America already has the 12th man. What do they need Israel for? They already got 12 players on the pitch for the rest of the Liguilla.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he's going to go off to Europe at the end of the summer.
I was about to say, you guys ain't getting him back. The rumors.
Okay, but what does that got to do with right now? We need him right now. Who pays his bills right now?
Well, right now he wants World Cup, because he wants that to be the jumping ground, the trampoline to go to Europe.
Who pays his bills?
I
know. All I'm saying is America should ask. Hey, Chivas should ask. Chivas said, fuck it, man. We had such a good season. Now we're fucked. We need to come back. Hey, let us get not all 5 of our players, but maybe 2 of them, 3 of them. They should ask.
It makes the FMF look weak, this concession to Toluca.
You know what? On that same wave, you know what, guys? You can take Piojo back. All right, let's be honest. We don't need him on the fucking team. He's better served at Chivas. So take him back. You can have him.
Sure, but it doesn't make okay. I don't know if it makes the FMF look weak, but it does just seem like they're playing favorites, and it really seems like to me it should be. This was all obviously like we've known about this for a long time. It's been agreed upon. They probably agreed upon it before we even were privy to the information. So it's either they're all in or they're all out. Like what they can't play favorites. They can't play both sides. It's bullshit.
Does the player have a say?
I don't think they should in this case, because if they were in the process for the World Cup, they knew what was coming. Right? So for a long time, these clubs knew that they would be without their players starting in May. And I think that should be respected. Nobody gives a fuck that Toluca is in two tournaments. Nobody gives a fuck that they're fighting for this extra purse. Who cares? They knew what was coming up. They should have, I don't know, signed more players knowing that they were going to lose players, that they were potentially going to lose 3 players, right? They should have prepared. There's teams that prepared for it.
Again, at the end of the day, if the players want it and the staff from Toluca wanted it, and Aguirre and his staff, they agreed to it, it is what it is. I mean, I can understand Vega and the other player wanting to go back. I mean, because Toluca is also trying to repeat what America did with the tricampeonato.
They are in a slump. They need the help, man. They lost at home 1-0 to Pachuca. No one saw that coming. They've been dog shit for a while. Hopefully they can. They
started to go a little down after they lost to America.
It's typical of Turco's teams for them to have a slump, but no one expected it to be at the start when they needed to be on, which is Liguilla, and so I think it's a tough time for them. I understand their decision, but I don't like it. I think it makes the federation look weak, and I think it stirs the pot. I think all the other owners are like, hey, what the fuck? What's happening? And so I don't like it. I don't think it's good leadership, and it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, it really put a damper on Liga, and it might be a little bit too late for this to course correct, right? Tigres defeated Chivas 3-1.
Have you guys seen the memes?
The what?
Sorry to interrupt. Have you seen the memes of Papi Azcárraga sending messages to Aguirre? Don't release the Chivas players.
Oh, I mean, I believe it. I believe it. I also think that because Chivas have their TV rights with Amazon Prime and aren't really being broadcasted over the air for free. There's a lot of reasons to hate on Chivas, but yeah, it's gonna be hard to overcome that 3-1 defeat on Saturday. Tigres just secured their ticket to the Conca Champions final today, beating Nashville 2-0. And, maybe the only thing we might be able to say we have going for us is we've had a week rest and we get to play in front of our fans. So, I'm still skeptical that they can turn things around. Obviously, 2 goals would get us through because we finished higher in the table, but I don't think Tigres is going to go down without a swing. So if Wally's our goalkeeper, we're gonna have a lot of issues. I can see why he never really got the start. He just is not. He doesn't ooze any confidence in the back. A lot of the balls he just parried away instead of trying to hold on to them. I don't understand. And then that goal, was it the last goal with Chicha? Oh, it was horrible, man. It was absolutely horrible. But I want to hear what you guys think about these quarterfinals, your predictions for Saturday and Sunday. Again, Tigres won 3-1. Atlas lost 2-3. America and Pumas still have everything to fight for, 3-3. And Toluca lost 1-0 to Pachuca.
I have a feeling that Chivas will overcome, and I think they'll advance. Because in reality, it's a 2-0 game, right? And like that saying always goes that the most score line that deceives the most in soccer is the 2-0 score line. And I don't think that the scoreboard was really a reflection of what was on the field in terms of Chivas, right? So I do think that Chivas. I think they're going to take it. I think America is going to take it. I have a feeling that Toluca is going to bounce back. And the other match, I did not watch, so I can't really tell who played better or not yet. But I did watch it. I watched 3 out of the 4 series.
Yeah, it seems like everyone expects Cruz Azul to go through. We'll see.
So they beat Atlas, right?
Yeah, they beat Atlas 3-2
at Jalisco.
In el Estadio Jalisco, and
I think. Yeah, I kind of think that Cruz Azul will take it too. So yeah. So like I said, I think Chivas takes it. I think America takes it. I think Cruz Azul takes it, and I think that Toluca will bounce back.
Some pretty solid predictions. Anybody else? I know Gustavo Rifado on.
So my prediction is I do think that Pumas takes it. I think America showed good spirit, and then we joke around that they had the 12th man and all that, but maybe they just got lucky. It's not blatant enough. What's it called? But I do think Pumas look better. I think they look better, and they were and remember, this is their away game that they were leading for the most of. So like now America's got to go to Seul, and Pumas going to play at home. And so I think things are in their favor. I think Juarez is going to look back at this match at what went wrong, and he's going to course correct. And so I do think it's going to be really close, but I think Pumas takes it. I think I don't want to count the bicampeón out. I know what's it called? Pachuca won away at Toluca, which is like crazy hard. The Bombonera is like a fortress. So Pachuca, props to them. But I do think that champion mentality from Toluca, and then now with Vega, actually he's not coming back for the Liguilla, not yet at least. But I do think there's enough talent in Toluca for them for a remontada. So I think Toluca, Pumas, and then Cruz Azul, like you guys already said, Atlas is kind of weak, and then they already won their away match. And then Chivas, I want to say Chivas, but I just, five missing players, the injury to Aguirre, who's just been a standout player for us, and then who else got injured? I forget who else, but what's it called? Our squad, we just don't have the depth. We just don't have the depth, and I'm looking at Tigres today, and they're just such a pragmatic side.
Yeah,
they're so good at nullifying the opposition. I just don't see us scoring and not conceding.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a tough break for Chivas. The stars didn't align for us. I think this is the end of the road, unfortunately. So I think it's Tigres, Cruz Azul, Pumas, and Toluca. And the Pumas one is going to be the most exciting, I think, because it's been the most controversial. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, I agree. I think if the deficit was 2-1, I could see Chivas being able to get back in this, but that last goal was killer, and if we had Rangel, that third goal doesn't happen. He hesitated to come out, and he would have cut off that play. Um it's I can like there's no problem with Chivas being able to generate two goals. Like that they can score two goals against Tigres on Saturday, but keeping a clean sheet is going to be damn near impossible. And I think that's where we're going to fall short. But we'll see how it goes on Saturday. There's always upsets in football. Maybe we'll get a lucky break. I mean, we look at how Chivas were eliminated last season. It was a painful way with Chicharo having to take that PK and sending it to Mars. So we've gotten close, but yeah, I think that first leg really, really just took the wind out of our sails, losing 5 players. It's a lot to overcome. And Tigres didn't lose a fucking player. So they not only do they have a strong lineup, I mean, today, Linus came off the 60th minute and just completely changed the dynamic of the game. They scored a few minutes after. And, you look at Tigres' bench, like some of these players should be starters for other clubs. So they're just stacked. The only question is maybe, having to play midweek, depleting, having to travel, all that, like that does play a factor. So I don't know if Chivas can overcome this. The other game on Saturday is going to be Cruz Azul Atlas. Unless, Cruz Azul do what they typically do, which is choke. I don't see them giving up to Atlas. Atlas would have to win the game because they're lower in the seated. So they would have to win the game decisively. I don't see that happening. With the Pachuca Toluca, I don't know, man. I think Toluca's getting spread pretty thin. I'm curious to see what happens tomorrow. Are they putting all their eggs in one basket with the Conca champions? I know they have what it takes to overcome LAFC. LAFC has never been able to step into an environment that they're going to tomorrow. Like the altitude, the fans, just the intimidation factor. LAFC is going to shit their fucking pants. I don't care who they have. Son and Benagua or whatever the fuck his name, Boanga, whatever the fuck that dude's name is. I think Toluca can handle business tomorrow, but they might spread themselves a little bit too thin for that return leg in Pachuca. They're going to have to win by a 2-goal deficit. And then I think everybody's just waiting for that rematch between Pumas and America. A lot of, bad blood there, the way the game ended. I think Pumas have a chip on their shoulder, and, this is going to be the true test for them. Can they actually decisively beat America? I don't know. It's going to be an entertaining match, and it's a great way to end your Sunday. Joel, I don't know if you're still on. Do you have any closing thoughts? Maybe you can kick things off for us. If not, happy to kick it off to a little hat trick.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Thanks for having me on. My closing thoughts are this, man. I think that this polemica that Los Antis created, it really took the eyes off Toluca and what they've done during their run that they've had over the last year and a half. I mean, they disallowed a Pachuca goal, but Pachuca won 1-0 as you guys spoke about, and they disallowed a goal that to me it was legit. That guy, I mean, it's not his fault. He jumps before and he jumps higher than the Toluca defender. And then Toluca, there was a player who had a pretty bad kick, and he should have seen the red. They didn't do that. And then obviously now we get the news today that tomorrow they're gonna have some of their players, like Vega and Gallardo, that they should have been off with Aguirre and doing who knows what type of orgies and fucking all type of what's it called, like what's it called, like when they get to know each other and shit. I don't know, whatever. They're supposed to be out there having parties and orgies and all types of team building exercises. Thank you. Team building exercises, and now they're going to be back and they're going to have the chance to play. So to me, Toluca has looked very fishy. I don't know what it is about them. I don't know who's behind their project. I don't know how much money's behind them, but just based on what I've seen in Liguilla over the last year and a half, they've looked super sus. And I think it helps them that America and Televisa are the main villains, and they're just able to kind of, lurk in the shadows. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Little Hatrick, for coming on today. All right. Maybe Ron or Rifalo want to go next for closing thoughts.
Is Tomas listening in?
I don't know if I saw him on earlier.
Okay. Just my closing thought is that I can do Cash App and I can do Venmo. So just let me know if you want that. Okay? I expect the money right away, motherfucker.
That's funny. Did you guys shake on it?
What's that?
Did you guys shake on it? Did you guys actually wager?
No, it's legit. It's legit. It's, $200.
Yeah.
200 bucks.
Wow.
And I was thinking, because when they started creating this fucking false controversy, and I'm thinking, well, fuck, dude, if America gets fucking thrown out on some bullshit, do I still gotta pay fucking Tomas? How's that gonna work out? No, but it is what it is.
For sure, Ron. Thanks for joining us. Rifalo, send us home.
Hey, thanks for having me, everyone. Just to put a bow tie on the Ahmed controversy. I do believe it was inconsistent by the FMF and by Club America, in the sense that they America agreed to pay the fine. FMF said that there was improper substitution, and I think that was an amateur move. But I think the Americanistas on the panel were like, that's not our fault, and we can't pin blame on them, and we just have to move on and gripe and hopefully it never happens again. But hopefully there's a good second leg. That's what I'm hoping for, because it was really exciting. But on to my final thoughts. It's that the Jovenazo rundown in Liguilla, the numbers are good. Of the 168 available players during this round of 8, what's it called? 17% or 28 were U23 players. So I think that's a decent number. I thought the number would go down. I think most teams rely on old guns or veteranos, and so for there to be 17% of jovenazos in the Liguilla, I think is telling of a new generation, finally being more involved when it matters most. So just a quick pick of the litter. We already spoke about Chicha Sanchez, great goal in the 3-1 victory over Chivas. I already spoke about Omar Campos, left back, 23-year-old for Cruz Azul, someone to watch out for La Selección. Isaias Violante, great goal against Pumas. He's finally hitting his stride. They bought him, and he was kind of like a promesa, but he was very mercurial, not really giving great performances consistently. But he turned on when it mattered most for Club America, and he got a goal for them in Liguilla. So kudos to him. Lais Montiel, back from injury, looking super sparky, super energetic. And he helped his team win against the bicampeón in the Bombonera. And I'm just like, Vasco, please call this dude up. I doubt it happens, but he deserves a look, at least in the future. Anyways, thanks for having me, everyone. Appreciate it. Have a great one.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining us today. Tomorrow, again, we do have some more Conca Champions action with Toluca trying to turn things around against LAFC. My gut is telling me that we are going to have a Mexican on Mexican final, and what a stage it would be, a rematch of our just most recent final between Tigres and Toluca. So excited to see how things turn out tomorrow. As far as the weekend, it's going to be Mother's Day. So take care of your mama on Mother's Day and enjoy some of these matches. We're going to have Chivas kick things off on Saturday, 6 p.m. against Tigres. Will they be able to come back and win the series? We shall see. Atlas, Cruz Azul. Are we in for a Cruz Azulada? I don't know. Maybe it'll be much sweeter in a semifinal setting. I expect them to go through. Pachuca, I don't know, man. I think everyone's kind of sleeping on Pachuca. I can see them eliminating Toluca on Sunday. It's going to be a tough game for Toluca. And then what everyone's waiting for is Pumas America. That's going to be fucking dogfight. You know there's going to be some controversy. You know this is going to end in a couple red cards. And it's going to be what we're going to be talking about on our next episode. But we will be here to cover all of it. You know, it's a weird year for football. We are very close to seeing a team like Tottenham get relegated. And we have a team like Arsenal have a chance to bottle it at the highest stage ever, both in the league and in the Champions League. They miraculously beat Atletico Madrid today. They're in the final. However, I'm looking at the other side of that bracket. It's a fucking beast. You know, both Bayern and fucking PSG just went on a fucking... It was like one of those slugfest heavyweight battle. And you know, tomorrow, whoever ends up winning that series wins the whole thing. Sorry for Arsenal fans. Congratulations on making it to another Champions League final, but you guys are getting second place. And then in the league, I want West Ham to win because that would secure Spurs' relegation. So I'm hoping for a big choke job over the weekend in the Premier League. Obed Vargas, unfortunately, did not get featured in today's Champions League match. So that's unfortunate for us supporting our Mexicans abroad. Okay, guys, thank you all so much. We'll catch you on the next one. Oh, and reach out to us for the Discord invitation. It might have expired on our website, but if you reach out to us on our socials, we will provide an updated link. We're starting to get quite a few people joining us on Discord in case you don't have Twitter and still want to be part of the conversation. We have a voice channel, and we broadcast all of our episodes on Discord as well. All right, guys, take care.